Oops.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Premier Takes Podcast. Here live with your host, MacDaGiantsFan, and my two amazing co-hosts, Zenith, Adam.
It's Gucci.
And we're going to talk about some cool topics tonight, man. Hope you guys all enjoy the show, man. And we're
I'm
going
like
to get
the
right
broadcast version of Steel. I only got one name.
Let's get it.
For Adam Costas, my bad. I didn't know if you wanted to.
They don't need to use a government, yo.
You want his government name? Let's get it.
Well, we're going to get right into some cool topics, starting right off with probably one of the most craziest things I've seen in some time, man. And that was the shit show that was Antonio Brown yesterday, man. Who wants to start this one off, man?
So I was talking to the younger generation earlier today, and they was telling me about this whole Antonio Brown situation. So I ran up and looked at the clip, and I noticed that. Now I'm gonna ask you guys for the facts here. Was he let go during the game? Did he find out that he was being let go or something like that?
I don't know.
Because
I'll let Mac answer that.
I was gonna say from what I was reading, Bruce Arians said he simply went over there and asked the man to go into the game, and he just flat out denied and didn't want to go into the game. So so he just got up and did what he did.
Yeah, I think you honestly should see a doctor, get some evaluations. You know what I'm saying? CT is a real thing. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just saying, I mean, like, that's just one thing you don't want to do. In the sense of, you're a representative of the NFL in a way, and you're representing yourself, obviously, too. But, like, what team's going to want you after that kind of stunt? Like, what team's going to want you with all your past issues? And we try to separate it, right? We try to give them the benefit of the doubt and try to get their past and shove it to the side sometimes and forget about it because they're a great football player. But then in actuality, we were all thinking, oh no, he's playing with Tom Brady now. He's done acting like a fool. And then right on cue, the guy's stripping in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? So those situations just sad to me. You know what I'm saying? That it's just sad. The guy needs to get checked out by a doctor. But yeah, I don't feel sorry for him. But yeah, it's crazy from being one of the best receivers, in the league back in 2014-15 to where he's at now. And he did get a second coming in Tampa. He was performing in Tampa. So I don't know. That's a stupid thing for him to do. I don't know what he was thinking, and clearly he wasn't. I'll let you go, Adam.
Antonio Brown has been down this road before. We call it a diva receiver, right? And he probably won't per se get another job, but I don't think this is the last we've heard of this guy. Why? Because in the NFL, you got talent. They're going to call your ass up. They're going to say, hey, are you done being crazy? He's going to be like, sure. You need a paycheck to go with the rest of the craziness of your life? Sure. Okay, let's come in and try this guy out. That's what Antonio Brown is. That's how talented he is. Now, the fact that he didn't make it on the Buccaneers is the same reason he didn't make it on with the Raiders, the same reason he didn't make it on with New England. But then he comes into Tampa Bay, and they walk right into a Super Bowl. So I don't know what his issue is. I don't know what he's dealing with personally. And quite frankly, this may hurt him long term, but the problem that will really hurt him is if the Hall of Fame comes up. It took Keo a long time to get in because of his shenanigans. So, if you're dealing with these pencil necks that are going to be voting you in, it's going to take a long time for him to get in there. He won a couple Super Bowls. He's been in a few championship games. This guy has done bizarre things his entire career. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year, while this guy is out of mind of sight, it's a call off by some desperate team saying, hey, we'll give you like $1 million to come join our team. Because that's what happens with these guys. Coaches think that they can rehab anybody. So
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
We're on Mac's channel tonight, Miz. So if you're on your phone, just go to Mac's channel on YouTube and you'll be able to find it on the laptop. Sorry to cut you off, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's just a way to handle things in a way. It's a way not to handle things, man. And I understand he has his like whatever these mental issues, and I'm sympathetic to that. At the
Mhm.
same time, if you need help, you have the means to go get the help you need. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And you can't let that be an excuse for antics like that. Because honestly, if you want to quit on your team, that's the decision you want to make. Then so be it. You make that decision. But at the same time, you get up and just walk off the field. We don't need you taking off, stripping your clothes down on the field, throwing your sweaty, nasty shirt up into the damn
Yeah.
stands and doing jumping jacks in the end zone. Like,
Ain't nobody
oh,
want to
look
see
at
that.
me. I'm Antonio Brown. I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to see that, man. Like,
Yeah.
handle yourself with some dignity and some
Ain't nobody want to
class
see that.
and just exit the field, man. And then I don't know if anybody knows about this. There was whoever his Uber driver was or whoever the hell his driver was that came pick him up after the game. They had dropping videos on all over Twitter and whatnot with just saying like stupid shit out like making a joke of it like it was all good, it was all funny, man. Like I just don't understand.
I'm sorry to put it this way because I know you guys are WWE fans, but it's like he's cutting a WWE promo.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
it's like he's hyping it up. Like for what? Like for what? Antonio Brown. What's all this extra for? It's nonsense. I'll let you continue.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
it's just
is,
so
he's a me guy. He's a me
Mhm.
guy. We had a guy like this named Odell Beckham Jr.
It's scary.
Okay,
Sometimes.
and when me guys get this way, this is what happens. Now, I all know we could use Odell right now. The reason why Odell's not here is because, well, probably Dave Gettleman, because that guy,
Mhm.
he's a real winner. And then, you got Pat Shermer, and he also criticized Eli Manning. So that's what these guys are going to do. As for Antonio Brown, I respect what Arians did. If you don't want to be here, get off the damn field. Okay, it was the same thing that happened with Vernon Davis back in the day with Mike Singletary. Okay, Mike Singletary got him. Vernon Davis was pouting. He said, "You don't want to be here? Get the hell off the field." Vernon Davis pouted his way off the field. Okay, people forget about it because it's not as high profile and it happened on a crappy team. But that happens. Guys get thrown off all the time. It's the heat of the moment. None of them are as big as name as Antonio Brown, so it may not stick. But I've seen guys get kicked off plenty of times.
yeah, it's like I said, it's a shame because like you mentioned earlier, Zion, this guy is about 5 years removed from just being the absolute cream of the crop at his position in the NFL, man.
Yep.
And to be honest, I don't know. Like people say that whatever his ex-wife or girlfriend said, he's never been the same after the Vontaze Burfict hit. That could be the truth, man. But like I said, if this guy needs help, he needs to go get the help that he truly needs, man, because he is basically, I think, ruined his career. I don't see him getting a serious look. I mean, at the same time, his talent is undeniable. So you might, like Adam said, you may have some desperate team that just go ahead and take a flyer on him again anyway. But it's going to be a long shot for him, man. And it's unfortunate because he was literally the best at his position, barely not even 5 years ago. And now he's falling this far. I mean,
it was him and Odell, right? Those are the two top guys in his size class, And he really niched himself almost a Hall of Fame career, right? He went from being a return man to one of the best receivers in the NFL.
It's right before his antics too, like his whole story from where he was drafted to what he became. Like, that was a kind of like a Hollywood kind of story, from being like a late round pick, like a Tom Brady, to being one of the best. What's up, Chris? To being one of the best receivers in the league, and then to go and just tumble down the mountain, rebound in Tampa, win a Super Bowl, and then,
Well, you can't measure a guy's brain what they're thinking, right? And the mental health issues are something that's big that's going on. And who knows why he decided not to do it or decided to play. That's only on Antonio Brown. And yes, let's hope he gets the help he needs. Maybe if he gets help, that way he can be brought back. I mean, Josh Gordon's been brought back a million times. The only thing that guy did was smoke a little weed. So, I'm just saying, like, they'll bring you back for anything. You know how to scoop ice cream. You're hired. You know what I mean? They'll say, "Oh, you know what? We can fix you," because this is what coaches do. This is what coaches do. They think that they can rehab it. They got all the answers. I can bring them in. Don't worry. I mean, what do you think Bruce Arians did? He's like, don't worry, I got this. We got Tom Brady. Well, it just goes to show that Tom Brady, can't influence you all that well. And the worst part is they lost their receiver, and he was the next guy up, and now he's gone. So this hurts Tampa Bay in their Super Bowl repeat if they get there, right? I mean, now they only have Mike Evans, and he's a bit banged up. Chris God was out for the year. They got Scooter McGavin or whatever the kid's name is.
Is Tyler Johnson still playing?
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, I get your point.
They're probably going to go with a 3 tight end.
That's just what I was going to say. They're fortunate to have some good tight ends on the roster.
Yeah.
Right, they're going to go Howard, Peyton, and Gronkowski, and then sprinkle in Evans here and there, and then their solid run game. You know what they're going to do? They're going to adjust to their personnel. That's what they're going to do.
Absolutely, they will.
Thanks on that.
They're not going to sit there and roll the same offense out and expect a different result. You know why? Because that's insanity. Scotty Miller, excuse me, I said Scooter. He looks like a scooter.
That's funny. Yes, Scotty Miller. Whoa.
Scotty Mac.
Let's get this guy off. Is Logan a mod? Should make him
he is. Well, I got him.
Perfect.
We already had some. We had them. They was on it. The mods was on it. Good job, mod. I appreciate
nice, good
that.
stuff, guys. Let's get it.
Hey, man, people, if you're coming in here and spewing this nastiness, get out. Just get out, man. We got time for all that.
Facts.
You want to come talk sports? Then let's talk sports. Don't come in here dropping no racism and all that other crap. We ain't got time for it.
Not at all.
What's up, Slay?
But if you guys don't have anything else more on Antonio Brown, because I really don't have much more on Antonio Brown, we can segue right into the next topic because it goes pretty perfect, man.
Let's
the next topic, man, and that is: are the Bucks vulnerable heading into the playoffs?
I'll let Adam go first on this one.
Are the Bucks vulnerable? Is that what you said?
Yeah, are they
to the playoffs?
Heading into the playoffs.
This is a long-winded question. I'm going to say yes, but I'm also going to say no. I know that's talking out both sides of my mouth, and I always criticize people when they do it. But here's what I think. Right, when you got a guy like Tom Brady, you're never out of the game. Okay, you're never out of the Super Bowl or the playoffs. So for me, they take a hit because their best players, Antonio Brown, is probably a matchup nightmare for many players going in. But depending on the matchup, I can see them getting to the championship game just because they have Tom Brady alone. Never doubt Tom Brady. I don't know what he's going to do, give everybody TB12 sticks, and they're all going to come out there, and they're going to look like gangbusters. So I'm going to say right now, I don't think it's going to hurt them as much as you guys think. But when they do face a team like Miz says, like Green Bay, that's when you might see them hit the stumbling block.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. You can't really count on Tom Brady. Yeah, you can't really count on Tom Brady in any situation because it's Tom Brady, and plus he's shown in his career to do it without without studs at the wide receiver position, and you can see him, like you just said, Mac, utilizing his tight ends and utilizing tight end packages with the running backs that they do have. Obviously, when they run into teams like Green Bay, it's gonna be a rough, tough night, but I would never count Tom Brady out. I know Giants fans don't want to hear that. I know some Giants fans hate Tom Brady, but I respect the guy, man. You can't count him out. He could be out there with just Leonard Fournette and make something happen. You know what I'm saying?
Totally agree, man. You guys, we all sync on this one, man. It's the reason why Tom Brady is the GOAT, man. It's the reason why, he has 7 Super Bowl rings on his fingers, man. This guy knows how to win under all circumstances, man. And yes, he's lost Chris Godwin, obviously lost Antonio Brown. Fournette's, I guess, I don't know if he's going to be back for the playoffs at all or not. But it's got a lot going against him. But at the same time, it's Tom Brady. So like you said, Tom Brady's going to figure out a way. I mean, last year, Bucks offseason, the only major addition they did was get Tom Brady, and they went to they won the Super Bowl. Just like that. Just with his presence alone, basically with the same team that they were rolling out the year prior, they made one switch, which was bring Tom Brady in at quarterback, and they won a Super Bowl just based off of that, man. So as long as you rolling TB12 out there, all bets are off, man. I can't.
So I was
can't count
laughing at
this
Mrs.
team out.
comment. My bad. I
Yeah,
wasn't
can't
laughing at
count.
you. I was laughing at Mrs. comment.
I can't count this team out, man. As long as they're balling, man. As long as
That's true.
there's Tom Brady's out there, they always got a shot, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Guess we lost Adam for a quick minute, man. I'm sure he'll be right back.
That's funny, Logan. Oh man.
Says culture 413 culture, baby. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what we rolling with right now. Damn, I really need it.
Yeah.
But
That's funny, Chris.
that's what our culture is becoming. It's just becoming used to losing, and some people seem to be accepting this losing more than I'm like willing. I can't accept all this, man.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ash?
What up, Ash?
The links in the Twitter group chat, man. If anybody want to jump on backstage, and I'll be happy to rotate people in. If you want some comment on some of these topics, man. But
get that link too, Miss.
But yeah, this Tampa Bay team, man. If any team is, I feel like if any team is built to deal with all this craziness going on around them right now with the injuries and the Antonio Brown thing, it's 100% Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Led by Tom Brady. I think they're the one team really that can handle situations like this. Pretty much put it right to bed. I mean, you saw Bruce Arians how he handled it. By the post-game press conference, he was already putting it to bed right now. Okay, he's no longer part of this team. Point blank, period, and just let it go. You know what I mean? So no nonsense there, man. Championship pedigree, championship teams. I'm gonna see if bring Logan in and see if he wants to comment on this.
Got that question? Oh yeah.
Yo. Got any comments on this one, Logan?
Yeah, I think the Bucs are very vulnerable. I know back in New England, Brady didn't really work with any elite wide receiver except for Randy Moss those few years. But all it really takes is one good corner to lock up Mike Evans. And then, I mean, like Slay said, he likes to work with his tight ends over the middle, but I do think they're more vulnerable than usual. But I still think they're going to be an NFC Championship team this year.
Totally agree with that, man.
Let's get it.
I was trying to get Adam back on before we move to the next topic, man. But if you have anything else on this, Zion?
Yeah, mother, welcome to move on. We can get him. Hopefully, what we're explaining our points, he'll call back in and he'll give his points on the next topic.
All right. Well, the next one actually is a topic that is a little. I was thinking was going to be a little more geared towards.
Got you.
Me and him, because
I sent it to your your phone, Miss. It's in the text message.
I'm gonna take you back out for a minute, Logan. I'm gonna bring you back on.
Hello.
Hop back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Adam.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was in my cave, and the reception in there is bad. I looked at my phone, and the whole thing fell apart. Great technology on my end, right, fellas? I mean, come on.
No, it's all good, bro.
I got that booty ass internet connection. Thanks a lot, Optimum.
Yo, Mac, you wanna just drop the link in here and just refuse anybody that you don't know? For Slay and Miz can call in.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
What did Logan say? I missed it.
He pretty much was on board with everything we were saying too. And shit.
From me, real fast. Were you done, Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good, Miz. Don't even worry about it. For me, I honestly, I was an Allen Iverson fan when he was on the Sixers, and then he went to the Nuggets, and I stopped watching basketball for a while until LeBron James signed with Miami Heat. That being said, even before that, I know that doesn't make any sense to the question, but so my knowledge.
My fault. I'm sorry, Zion.
Oh, you good?
I was going to explain the question because I didn't know if you did. I My thing is with Larry Bird, is he or isn't he? My thing is I've been in a lot of discussions, NBA discussions about like all-time greats and lists and things of that nature. And every time somebody mentions Larry Bird's name, he gets like shot down almost immediately with like almost no respect. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the
Yeah.
younger generation doesn't seem to understand the greatness that was Larry Bird back in the day. So that's where this question is derived from, man. And I just
See,
want to
that's
get your takes on that.
where I know Adam's getting excited, so I'm gonna pass the mic to him here in a moment. But that's where I would say that my knowledge of the game of basketball comes from probably the Allen Iverson days to I skipped for a bit, and then the last
What?
10 years. So when you talk about someone like Larry Bird, I am unqualified to answer that question. What I will say is, from a guy who loves the game of basketball, it was my first, like I loved basketball, man, and I loved football growing up. I actually played basketball, didn't play football. But the thing is, he was always someone that you knew about, always someone that was up for discussion. But for me, I respect Bird, but I wouldn't. I'm unqualified to answer this question. So thank God we have Miz here because Adam and Miz is perfect qualified to answer this question. So I'll let Adam take it
Can
over.
you run it back for me? Because I walked out of the room to change because I was not in my man cave that has no heat. I am now in a regular house with regular heat. So if you could.
Yeah, I was just explaining that some of a lot of younger generation doesn't really understand the greatness that was Larry Bird, man. I think some people think that he was like, for lack of a better word, some token white guy. You know what I mean?
Let me enlighten you and educate you, these young fellas out there listening. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were the two top dogs in college ball back in the 70s. Okay? They were the top dogs. Bird was amazing. Okay? He gets to the NBA, and the man is a baller. You know what he used to do to warm up? Drink a six-pack. I mean, this guy we're talking about is from Hillbilly, Iowa. Okay? Just dropping, comes into the NBA, doesn't really work out that much, but can kill anybody. If it wasn't for his back problems, he would be known. The problem is that young bucks don't like to watch old school tape, right? You watch Larry Bird, and that thing is on SD TV, and they're like, "What is this? Why is the screen not all the way across the TV? What is all that stuff?" And they don't want to hear what's going on. But Larry Bird, basically, is one of the top 50 players of all time. My brother swears by him. You know,
You say 50 or 15?
Excuse me?
15?
Well, he's definitely in the top 50 list. He's definitely on that.
Top 50, yeah.
Okay,
he might be top 5 all time. Because here's the story. He goes to the Dream Team scenario, right? And this is how respected Larry Bird is in the entire NBA. So who's in that 92 Dream Team but a young player by the name of Michael Jordan? And Magic Johnson's there as well. Larry Bird's there as well. So Magic and Michael are duking it out in practice, and they basically get heated in the locker room. The man named Larry Bird walks in, kicks everybody out the room except for Michael and Magic. And he looks over, everybody's gone. He looks over at Magic and he goes, "Listen, man, this guy is the future. It's his team. Let him run with it. He's going to take the NBA to the next level." That's Larry Bird talking to Magic Johnson, who at that time had an ego and wanted to still be the top dog. So Larry Bird is impact not only in those Celtics teams. Remember, those Celtics teams, he played defense, he played offense, he could shoot the lights out of the gym. I mean, the guy was amazing. You may never hear about him.
At the guy that Chris talks to at the gym. That's kind of sad.
Larry, this guy at the gym thinks Carmelo was better than Bird, and he's smoking crack. Is he smoking crack? Like, I like to meet this guy.
He's on steroids.
So many guys
on steroids. Well, maybe that's what I mean. I don't know this person, but God bless him if he thinks Carmelo Anthony Isotope is going to be, better than Larry Bird. I mean, he can't even hold Larry Bird's jock. Larry Bird would take in a low post and make him look silly. Like, the problem with the NBA, here's the problem that I have with the NBA. Okay, is that unlike the NFL, where the history is, kind of written with NFL films and all this stuff, and you got John Facenda calling, "Oh, look, and there they are, the autumn wind," right? The basketball thing is so we talked about last week. We had friggin' Steph Curry. People were telling me how good Steph Curry is. That guy wouldn't last in the NBA in the 90s. Yeah, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's the same thing. Okay? If you don't know who it is, right? I feel like Miz, me, Mac, we're older guys. We sit here on these streams with these young guys as if they were born and the NBA started. They're like, their mom's the JJ, and there goes, and that's when the NBA started. No one wants to look up history anymore. No one wants to look at Larry Bird's impact, and not because his impact is, which was by far one of the best. I mean, how many NBA championships did he end up with and end up in the NBA finals? I mean, we're talking about, again, one of the best of all time. And then he goes on and becomes a good coach, right? So, I mean, look at it. Look at what's going on here. Greatest shooter, all this stuff. This is what I'm talking about. People need to understand. Carmelo Anthony's booty, okay? He's compared to Larry Bird. Larry Bird would be like, hold my drink, bitch. That's what he would say to Carmelo Anthony as he's running by him taking shots.
To see where I got this question from.
I don't like Carmelo, bro.
I say this question stemmed from last week.
Carmelo, he's the most overrated star in basketball history.
Well, he doesn't play defense.
Well, we're talking about Larry Bird.
But
Jay Production. This question. Hey, Jay, how old are you? How old is Jay? Anyone know how old Jay is?
Jay's 19.
He's like, Curry is the greatest shooter ever. My God, kid, you need to go watch some videos. Because you got Ray Allen, one of the greatest shooters of all time. You got Reggie Miller dropping dimes on him. You got John Stockton, Jeff Horner. I can go to the list. Chris Mullin. I can go down the list. You want me to keep going, Jay? I can go down. You're going to sit here and tell me Steph Curry. Why? Because you watch Sports Center?
Well, you gotta admit, Steph Curry is nice.
That's their guy today, these young guys. That's their guy.
Nice.
Forget about Mark Price, man. Mark Price back in the day, man. Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Killing it, man.
Exactly.
But this question came from last week in the chat, man. I saw in the chat when we were talking about the Steph Curry thing last week, and then people were saying, somebody wrote in the chat about LeBron would trash Larry Bird. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to say LeBron wouldn't necessarily beat Larry Bird because he's a freaking nature athlete.
You King crybaby? Please.
But at the same time,
that's King James Adam.
Nobody's trashing Larry Bird in his prime. I'm just letting
you mean Queen James.
Don't know anybody. No one's trashing Larry Bird in his prime. This guy was not just he wasn't just a shooter. He could shoot. That was what he could do, but he could also take it to the cup. He could dish with the best of them, and he damn sure played defense. Larry Bird had all around game.
This is the problem.
Now let me ask you guys something. Adam's probably gonna snap at me, and I allow him to. But don't laugh at me too. But while Larry Bird was playing, ain't the competition a lot more tougher nowadays? No,
because the rules are for softies.
Yeah,
Larry Bird was getting banged every night.
Larry Bird played in the era where he could take it to the cup and get clothesline and wouldn't get a call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He played
Larry Bird. Larry Bird had to deal with goons. Okay, Bill Laimbeer, all those Detroit bad Pistons. Little Steph Curry wouldn't do anything. Steph Curry is a screen machine. He has to run around and get screens and set up his thing. Give me a break. He couldn't play in the mid-90s.
Hey, I want to defend Steph Curry real fast, though. He does. Steph Curry can just stop and put it up anytime he wants to, and it'll be a bucket. Like
okay, but you know what I would do? 7 out of
10 will be a bucket.
I'm gonna take my goon at the end of the bench, and I'm gonna give him a nice big elbow shot next time he goes up, and then he'll think twice about coming down that lane. I'm just saying that's how they played back in the day.
I feel
right
you.
now, everyone's
it's a much more physical sport.
Yeah, right now, a bunch of people who run up and pop and then run back down the floor. That's why I liked the Milwaukee Bucks last year, because they were actually dunking on cats and finishing by the rim.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just. I just feel like, we need some more respect put on this man's name. I grew up watching this guy play. I wasn't even some big Boston Celtics guy. But you got to respect greatness, man. And I think there's just a lot of disrespect right now when we have these conversations. Well, because it's mostly because you don't know.
Right, but here's the thing, Mac, is what I'm saying. Jay, no offense to him, he grew up in the Sports Center era, and he's saying his opinion is Curry is the greatest shooter ever, and that's fine. But when you have other players that are better, and there's a history of better players, you got to understand the dynamic of the game. It's the same thing in the NFL now, right? They go, oh well, Drew Brees is the leading passer. Well, guess what? In the Phil Simms era, you can't do what you do now with those receivers. You could knock those receivers down, tackle them beyond 5 yards. Now everything's a penalty. You touch the guy with one finger past 5 yards, it's a penalty. So what I'm saying is those rules have changed. They made Jordan rules for a reason because they were bodying him up so badly in Detroit that they had to change the rules to make sure that you can't do certain things. Right now, you can't even lean on a dude when you're backing him in. You can't put your arm on him anymore. You can't touch these players the way you used to be able to when you used to defend them. So, yeah, Steph Curry is going to be able to jump shoot 50 feet away from the basket because no one's coming down to smack him in the face. I guarantee you.
We got player safety first, Adam. Player safeties first.
Curry with the shot.
We're going to stop. We're going to stop. I'm joking.
Wait, we need to wear a skirt? Player safety. Go wear a skirt if you want player safety.
You got anything on this, Miz?
Yeah, Curry with the shot, boy. Well, Curry's a great shooter for today's game. Of course, he's amazing. We know that. I'm not going to take it away from this guy. Shoots from crazy places.
Not at all.
And he turns around and runs the other way while the ball's still in the air. So it's crazy. Like,
I'm
Yeah,
not
but I think
taking
people-
anybody's down.
yo, the
People
sport
lose.
is a different sport, like Adam's saying.
Yeah,
Totally.
Adam's right.
The whole world is turned that way. I rep these leagues outside. These kids have become so soft, Adam. It's scary.
Right.
That's
You
how
touch
that-
the guys now. I used to be a ref at the intramural basketball. I know that's not the professional level or anything like that. But I used to have these dudes like look at me and say, "Ref, why didn't you blow the whistle?" And I look at them, "What are you, a baby?" They're like, "What are you talking about, ref?" I'm like, "What? The guy, you ain't bleeding, man. The guy barely touched you. You want a foul?" You know what I mean?
Right.
LeBron James, they had something called flopping. Okay, the greatest of all time said he would force LeBron James left. That was Michael Jordan's words, not mine. So when the greatest of all time is sitting there telling you he can defend King James and that he wouldn't be able to do certain things, and again, I mean, a crab dribble, hello, they don't crab dribble back in the 90s. Okay, they actually played basketball. There was actually a skill set. You didn't let the guy run halfway down the court and take one dribble and then jump from the foul line and he makes a point. You don't call a damn thing.
Right.
Excellent.
And those guys took a beating back in the days, So
Yeah, you go watch old highlight clips of the NBA. You can tell it's just a way more physical game back in the day.
way more.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean by people have got to start touch old tape. I know it's hard to do because, maybe it's not hard here because everybody's on a freaking stream all day, but maybe if they were less on the streams and more on the highlight video, they can educate themselves onto what good basketball is. Because the thing is this, it's a different game that we're looking at. They used to low post it. LeBron James is 6'8". He doesn't do that much low posting. If this were a different player in the 90s, that guy would be playing guard. Magic Johnson would low post cats. That's all he would do. That's what he would do. He would low post cats and throw it up in the thing when he would play on a mismatch. Big Play Slay wants in on this basketball talk. What, you're like
Slay
13?
in real quick. I'm gonna bring Slay in.
Slay break in.
Oh, great.
Yo,
Okay, Big Play.
yeah.
Remember, this is our show. We run the shots here. Let me ask you this question before we start. How old are you?
Real fast, Slay. Don't answer this. Don't
I
answer that,
watch
Slay.
highlights.
Don't answer that, Slay.
What
Adam,
are you- how old are
age does not define knowledge.
No,
It really
Tell him
does.
that.
because
Tell him
it
that.
does to me. I just need to know, because if he's going to tell me that he watched highlights and he's going to come on here and tell me that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, I want to just know where his frame of reference is. That's all.
No. I'm not coming on here to say that. I actually have facts with that. I mean, I respect Larry Bird and what he's done for the game. I mean,
You're welcome on our stream any day of the week.
like Larry Bird is the best for real. He is one of the greatest shooters, arguably the greatest shooter of all time. You may say because he had like 647 to 649 threes, that's barely not that much. That's because Curry has like 3,000 3-pointers and stuff. But Larry Bird, I mean, he did everything. He played defense. He played offense. He guarded one of your best players. He went inside. He took the layup. He played on the mid range. He took those mid range shots. He did more. Like he was a playmaker. And I could say the same thing about Curry, but there's also been other great shooters in the league. But for me, I would say Curry because I actually watched Curry.
But
yeah,
I would take Curry and I'd raise you Larry Bird because I know in a clutch situation I'm getting Larry Bird. I know that if Larry Bird gets banged on the 3-point line, he's not gonna like wimp out and whittle up. I know what Larry Bird's gonna do. He's got killer instinct. I'm not saying that Curry doesn't, but if you're not, there's one thing to know highlights, and there's another thing to watch the game from years ago. I watched the game from years ago. I'm not saying what I'm saying is when you go there and you watch the game is different now. It's like watching hockey, right? Hockey is so much more frenetic, right? They added all these new rules to help the offense, right, and score points. Now there's shootouts. Same thing in basketball. They move the 3-point line. They bring the 3-point line back. And now you get like flagrant foul, like fouls now, clear path fouls. Like clear path foul, give me a break. What is that now? You can't see a guy go down and jam anymore? No, you got to get a clear pass foul. How about call the foul, let him jam it because that's what I wanted. That's what I came here to see. I came to see a 360 dunk on a fast break. No, instead I get whistle, and then they got to go to the free throw line. My thing is this, okay? Young, small Curry did not survive. I'm telling you, did not survive with the bad boy Pistons. I mean, look at Isaiah Thomas. You want to hear some story about Isaiah Thomas? So check it. Isaiah Thomas goes up for a layup. Karl Malone comes out of nowhere and knocks him in the face, breaks his face. Okay, breaks his face.
I remember that.
He goes to the locker room, gets 40 stitches, comes back and still plays. You think Steph Curry is going to take a Karl Malone elbow to the face and then come back and here? No. Just tweet about it. Man, that guy hit me really hard.
I mean, there's also been other great 3-point shooters. There's also been Kyle Korver, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, Reggie Miller. There's also been other 3-point shooters.
Reggie Miller was a killer.
Kyle Korver's a bum compared to Larry Bird. Okay,
I mean,
he's a 3-point shooter.
I'm just throwing a name out
I
there.
feel your point. Slay, but I just think
Exactly.
the whole thing was about just Larry Bird and about the respect that he deserves, and is he given the respect? You know what I'm saying? There's so much times that we talk about greats, and his name is never mentioned. You know what I'm saying? And is that fair?
Because he literally did everything, and he never get the respect that he deserves.
You talking to the wrong people. Talk to me. I know Larry Bird's one of the best.
Yeah, but he played both sides. He played defense and offense, something that today's league doesn't do. They only focus on.
Curry doesn't even play defense.
I haven't seen defense. Last year was the first time I saw a glimpse of defense in years by the Knicks.
But
by the Milwaukee
Larry Bird did that. He plays defense and offense. He played mid range too. He shot on the mid range, and he didn't just do 3-point shooting. He did literally everything on the court that was assigned for him to do. So he definitely needs that respect.
All right, Slay, I'm not trying to. If you got any more points, I want to swap you out and bring Logan in so he can chime in on this topic as well, real quick.
Nah, you good? Just wanted to talk about that topic right quick.
Nah, I'm gonna swap you out for Logan in.
Yep.
And let Logan come in and talk about this topic.
Big play. You're welcome to come back anytime, man.
Step up to little Benny, man. This kid's mature way beyond his age, man. This kid's a little genius.
Oh, look who it is, Logan.
I only have a few things to say.
What's up? What do you guys contribute?
Put some respect on Larry Bird's name. This dude would beat the shit out of Steph Curry. He is the greatest 3-point shooter in NBA history.
That's right.
Drop the mic. That's it.
Yeah,
man.
definitely. That's
Boom.
That's all you got, Logan.
But my point, right?
I mean, I appreciate that because his name does. We get into respect Larry Bird, man.
Fellas, we get the same controversy. We talk about quarterbacks, right? We think that Tom Brady greatest of all time, but we forget that there are other guys that played. I mean, we think of Panning, we think of Drew Brees. There was Reno, there was Joe Montana, right? And there was a different era for these guys, right? So, I'm telling you right now, Dan Marino will be up 70,000 yards in this arena, but he played in '83 where the defense was different. You know what I'm saying? There's tons of quarterbacks and teams that played because the game evolves. Remember, hadn't changed the game, but then the NFL don't want to be mad, right? They want to see the points a game scored. Back when his was growing up, and Mac were growing up, and even me to a certain extent, defense is what we wanted to see. We were okay seeing the Giants beat a team 3-0. That's what we were happy because we got out there, and that defense dominated. Now we score. We score 3 points but my point is that the defense now is different. You can't do the same things. LT would be banned from the NFL right now if he played the way he hit people.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he would be.
Do not ever bring up Reggie Miller's name again, Slur.
What's the next question,
Reggie
man?
Miller is a killer.
Stop.
Yeah, we can slide on to the next topic. This one went a little long. Logan, I'll swap you back out real quick, man, and then I'll bring you back on if you want to talk about this next topic. But Alabama versus Georgia, gentlemen, man. National championship, man. Who y'all got, man?
It's gonna be interesting.
Go ahead.
I'll let
I'm
Miz
going to take Georgia because I think Georgia's defense right now is just playing on a whole different level.
I totally agree.
I mean, they're two NFL teams basically. But I'm going to say Roll Tide just because I like saying Roll Tide.
Didn't Alabama beat them in the conference championship game, right?
Yeah, Alabama
Georgia
beat
was
them.
looking for some get back here, man.
Yeah, I can see Georgia coming back with the victory. I think that like Cincinnati, they didn't play anybody. I'm not trying to be mean. They didn't play anybody. So when they finally played someone, they got exposed bad. Like Georgia been playing good teams. So the fact of the matter is that they did to Michigan, you know, I don't see Alabama coming in and doing what they did to Georgia, the same thing what they did to Cincinnati. That's not going to happen against the Bulldogs. So I'm going to have to go with Georgia. I think they have a tougher defense.
Well, I mean, this is the reason why they play the game, and this is why they're now the two best teams in the country. See, what people don't realize is Cincinnati was like Notre Dame against Alabama. They don't have the whole. They don't recruit the same way. You're not thinking of Cincinnati and you're like, oh, NFL program, let me go there. You know, maybe in basketball, but you're not going to Cincinnati as a powerhouse. Be like, let me go to Cincinnati because that's my one ticket to the NFL. No, you're thinking about Georgia and you're thinking about Alabama. So, of course, when you see Cincinnati, that quarterback looked like a deer in headlights. Had no idea where the defense was coming. He's probably having nightmares right now. You know, and the game's over, he's probably waking up with hot sweats saying, oh, my God, it's coming again, right? So when you see that and you get Georgia, I just think Alabama's going to, for whatever reason, you can't count Nick Saban, and he's going to have a plan. And, you know, the Alabama quarterback is playing pretty well, and we'll see. You know, I like the defense of Georgia. They've always been good. I mean, we got a couple Bulldogs on our team, which is great. Right, so we'll see. That's why we're playing. We'll definitely get a chance to watch that game. We'll probably have a cast or we'll have a podcast while it's going on. So we'll get you some up to date stats while you're perusing through the game. But we'll find out on January 11th, whatever it is. I think it's January 11th, January 10th. I think
it's the 9th.
January 10th. January 10th.
Next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday.
We'll find out. And take some notes. Everyone take notes because I'm sure there'll be about 20 players from both those squads. Not really 20 players, but at least 10 players from those squads coming out in the NFL draft. And I'm sure someone's going to tell someone's a first-round pick. Never seen the guy play up into national title, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, I think Georgia, man, was sitting back watching that Alabama-Cincinnati game, and I think they were salivating, man. And I think they're glad Alabama pulled that game off. And they were just waiting to get their opportunity to go out there and earn their spot in that title game so they can get a piece of Alabama again. I like what I saw from Georgia's defense, man. I'm not a big, huge college football guy, so I don't follow it super closely until mostly the end of the year when you get to these bowl games and things. But I like what I saw out of that Georgia defense, man. Those guys were ready to ball, man. And I know Alabama's a different kind of offense than Michigan. But at the same time, man, I think Georgia's really going to be. I'm not saying Alabama's not going to be hungry for it, but I think Georgia's going to be hungry for this game, man. I really like their chances And I'm sure they'll be going in as underdogs, man, to the Tide, man. But I think they can get it done. I think defense wins championships, man. And I strongly believe in that. And I believe in that Georgia defense. What I saw against Michigan, they just absolutely stopped them cold, man.
Well, we'll find out on Monday.
Yep.
And yeah, so if anybody has anything else on this one, we can get ready to move on to the
next one.
And this was gonna be for you, Adam.
Let's
This is what you've been waiting for, bro.
It's my turn.
This is what you've been waiting for. It's the shit show time. It's time for the shit show. That is the New York Giants, man.
Adam, I'm just gonna let you have the mic.
So
Mike,
why don't you ask the question and we can get into it? We can get into it. Go ahead.
Just you can just say whatever you want about
the shit show that is the New York Giants.
Oh, the New York Football Giants. Oh, let me get this straight. Okay, so I guess this afternoon, if you aren't aware, it was brought to my attention that Joe Judge should probably be bought back. And I said why, and I challenged that. And I was thrown under the bus with a few other people because of the opinions that I had about a certain coach. Well, let me bring something up for you first, all right? Because there's a guy in the stream who came on here who made a reputable comment about a Giant Insider newspaper, and it was said that it was not a real thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's right here. That paper is right here. Okay, I get it every 2 weeks. So I know that some people said it's not real. This shit's real. Okay, and you know what it says on the cover of this issue? Gettleman's on the hot seat. Okay, that's number one. That's number two. Number two is how come every that same podcast of that same publication said the same thing that I said to these certain individuals on a podcast earlier. And that was that don't give me this bullcrap that a guy came in and straightened up the filing cabinet and all of a sudden you guys are happy about it, but the product of the field is still shit. Because you know what? A winning culture is a culture. Okay? A losing culture is what we have right now. So you want to talk about the stupid, culture topic? Well, guess what? We're a losing team right now. Okay? I have another media outlet if we want to still keep going down the list. I mean, I can drop the Giant Insider podcast or you want to go listen to it. Certain people should go listen to it because maybe they also wouldn't think that their opinion is the only thing out there, because I listen to podcasts all day from Giant beat reporters. And 95% of them say that Joe Judge should be fired. Why do we want him back? What has Joe done? What has Joe done to warrant coming back? Oh, let me break it down for you what he's done. Get blown out in 13 losses of his career, blown out 13 times. That's great. What, had us fighting for a division title in the shittiest division of football last year? Okay, that's great. High five. What has he done this year? Oh, he brought in Aziz Ojulari. One guy who's played well out of that draft class. I was told that everyone plays in that draft class. Let me break it down for you. Okay? Rodarius Williams, bench, IR. Gary Brightwell, I don't even know if he's seen the field. We can keep going. Don't worry. I got a couple more for you. How about the 4th round pick? What's he doing right now?
Who's that? Who is it?
Exactly. No, because he stinks. We don't even have one because we traded up. Right? We got what's that kid's name? Aaron Robinson. Okay. So he plays a little bit. Great. Oh, Ellison Smith. That's who it is. Ellison Smith has. So I was told that all the draft picks played so well. Ellison Smith, we barely even knew who was on field. We forgot his name. That's how great of a draft pick he was.
Yeah, I actually did forget his name. No, that's garbage.
The 2nd round pick actually is doing something. And don't get me started with Kadarius. But it's okay. They've played this season, guys. Let's clap. Redheaded stepchild. Let's go 2020. Okay? Let's go back to 2020. Keep it rolling. Okay? Ed Thomas, he plays. 2nd round pick, McKinney, he plays. Matt Pert, IR. Darnay Holmes, IR. Who else is on that list? Shane Lemieux, IR. The 7th round pick, Carter Coughlin, he's on IR. Cam Brown, is he even seeing the field? Do you even know if he's out there? Oh, but these foundational players I'm supposed to be happy about. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Because I ain't finished. Because I was eviscerated this afternoon. Because somebody didn't want to believe that we could fire Joe Judge because he's done nothing but make a filing cabinet nice in the Giants' back office, and we want to give him a high five. The guy stinks. Yeah, that's progress. Break culture. Culture is winning. We're too numb to the losing that we don't understand what winning's about. We want to clap our hands because like a few players on this team. We had guys who told on certain streams that we're going to go 12-5. 12-5. We spent $200 million, right? And we sat here all offseason, day in and day out, telling me that we're going 12-5. And when we told them, well, I don't know. Oh, no, 12-5. We got yelled off the streams. I said 10-7, and I said that's a caveat if everything goes right. I got laughed out the building. Oh, you can't be turning. All of a sudden, the wheels fall off the bus, and now the narrative changes. When these same people a few weeks ago, middle of the season, wanted to fire the same guy. But they changed their tune real quick. I guess 4 wins will do that for you. 4 wins will do that. I also had somebody point out to me that, if we're an interception away and a 5-yard penalty away from having a couple games, I counter that with this. We're a drop pass away and an interception return away from only having 2 wins. How about them apples? So you want to go here and tell me that, a few things changed here and there, but you want to bring the guy back? Why? What has he done? Oh, the culture. What culture? We still see the same results. Still losing. Still the team shows up. Nobody's even watching the team anymore. I got people saying they were out fishing, doing grocery shopping, putting their feet up, taking naps. Because this team is bad.
That's facts, though.
At the gym.
Devil's advocate. Hold up, Adam. Devil's advocate. Okay, but Adam, hold up. Adam, Joe Judge was brought in the year under COVID. Plus, too, he had so much injuries. The 2021 Giants was injuries. Don't you feel that Joe Judge gets another chance?
Kiss my booty on that thing, okay? Because the Jets can come in here and have 4 wins in the same season as the Giants, and their expectations were just to wipe their ass. And how am I supposed to take this guy seriously? Because to me, I don't know about you, but when I do mathematics, 6 is greater than 4. But to certain people, 4 is greater than 6. So for me, when I see we go backwards all season, when I see other teams, by the way, that Giant Insider podcast will explain to you something else. They also said that there's teams around the league that have the same problem and have the same injuries, aren't making excuses. I got the New York Jets putting up a game against Tampa Bay, damn near beating those mother flippins. We barely even scored 10 points. But guess what I got when we faced Kansas City as well? When I said we should have won that game, I got, we kept up with the defending AFC champs. Give me a break. That's what losing teams say.
Logan brings up a good point, too.
Yep. Exactly. Absolutely.
Exactly. How come an unhealthy Jets team gets 24 points against the defending world champion, and we come out here and score 10 points, and we have an excuse every day with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones throws it to the other team, and we're like, well, that's okay. He at least kept up with the Bucks. Everyone makes fun of Jason Garrett for being the redheaded stepchild and clapping every time they do something. I feel like that's what the Giant fan base is right now. We are Jason Garrett's. We are just clapping to clap for anything. Oh, we got the snap off. Clap. Oh, we kicked the punt. Clap.
Yeah.
Oh, like Azeez Ojabari. Clap. Oh, Judge fixed the filing cabinet. Clap. No, well, I like what he did in the back end. What does that mean? Somebody even said it on ESPN radio. Michael Kay, he dropped it too. He said, Joe Judge is telling you lies that you can't prove. Right? He's telling you, well, guys called me up from other teams saying they want to come back here. Really? They want to come back?
I didn't like that when he's all like, people's begging me to stay
Bullshit.
on this roster. Like, who the fuck is begging
Yeah.
you? Like,
Well,
who's in your
first off,
office begging you?
No,
Let me ask you
one
this.
is. That's wow.
First
How
off,
I went back and I watched the
players
press
calling a
conference.
coach in the middle of the season begging. I wish I could still be there, man. A man doesn't do that. Okay, no man does that.
Right. You only do that when you're in trouble and your boss goes, hey, do you like it here? Are you going to go, no, coach, I don't like it here. No, give me a break. Okay. The other thing is he's got people calling him up who made more money telling him that they like it here. They want to come back to a 4-12 football team. Okay. Dal Tomlinson and who I think it was the other guy. I forgot the other guy that left. Right. Those two guys are, Zeitler. Yeah, Kevin Zeitler, who, by the way, is now one of the best guards in the NFL. Yeah, we let him go for Nate Solder, but hey, the Giants didn't choose to let Kevin Zeitler go. They didn't know it was a money thing. No, they chose to let him go. They asked him, he said no, and instead of keeping him, they chose to let him walk. That's what choosing is. I don't know if I have to read a definition for it.
You want to drop the link for Eagles, Mac? Sorry.
Zeitler
So anyway,
himself. Just real quick, Adam, then you go. Zeitler said himself that the Giants never even reached out to him to even make him any type of offer, or else he would have thought of staying.
There we go again. So they chose again a Dave Gettleman guy in Nate Solder, who, by the way, did not work out all year in 2020, and even said, and then they brought him back. That's okay. Let's keep going down the list. All right. So let's see. So you say we bring Joe Judge back because he's done what? What has he done besides lose? Nothing? And nothing? Crickets? Yeah, that's how Joe Judge should feel right now. You know why he rambles on in the press conference? Because he knows his ass is on the line. Tish, which a few of these people who eviscerated us this afternoon told me, and I will give them this credit about Tish. Tish does have a say in this team. And if you think that he's going to walk in here and just let John Mara control the whole damn narrative and say, hey, John, let me get this straight. You want to bring a guy in who's won 10 games over 2 seasons because he fixed the filing cabinet? I don't think so. Okay. And this is what we were saying, but we got eviscerated for it. Right. They're like, what's your plan? Who are you going to bring in? I'll give you a plan right now. Hope you're sitting back and listening because I'm about to drop it on you.
Bill, fast before you drop your plan, I just think that, some Giants fans may want to keep Judge because maybe they don't want to start all over again. They feel like we have a good foundation here. Whether you want to call it good, whether you don't want to call it good, that's a matter of opinion, right? And maybe they feel that we have a good foundation here. And if he could just maybe have one more year to bring in his people in the draft, we can really get something here. In your case, and some of our cases as well, it's to the point where, what do we have to see? This guy is clearly bad at managing football games, clearly now to the point that is exposing other coaching staffs, talking shit about Pat Shermer in a sense, and
the Redskins.
Talking shit about other organizations and the Redskins, you know what I'm saying? And then talking to the point where players are like, what kind of like finally when you actually change your auto tune, it's bad. It just looks bad. I liked it at first when I first heard it the first time. I liked it because I'm like, oh, this guy's actually changing. He's not talking like a robot. And then I went back and listened to it, and I'm like, holy shit, I don't really like this because at the end of the day, like
that guy, and he starts to talk F-bombs and curse and whatever. I'm like, okay, where was this fire weeks ago when we asked for it? It's now coming out of week 17. You're trying to sugarcoat that John Mara and Steve Tisch are sitting here listening. You're trying to audition for this job again. You stink, bro. I don't care about. See, people want to talk about foundations. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help the players they bring in. Okay, they're going to bring in players. Okay, the players that I just mentioned have done nothing this season except for Azeez Ojulari. So before we get into a foundation, at least give me players that can play. But now let me get into
Let's get into your plan.
So first off, people will tell me, "Well, what are you going to do, Adam? What is your plans to bring in the next coach? Are you going to bring in Eric Bieniemy? What if Eric Bieniemy stinks and you're going to fire him after 2 years?" No, homie. You got to listen. Take the wax out of your ears for a minute. This is what you do. When you fire a coach, you also fire the GM, and you bring them in simultaneously. So they both have the same vision. So they both look at the and someone's like, "Well, what about the players? You don't think the next GM and coach are going to evaluate the players? What kind of asinine thinking is that? You don't think they're going to go through the roster and check boxes to see who's good and who's not good? Give me a break." So the first thing I do is I bring in my GM, and I give him or her the autonomy to choose their coach. Okay, and if that means he's getting rid of Joe Judge because he fixed the filing cabinet, then so be it. So now I bring in my coach. Let me rattle off some names for you. I can bring in Dan Quinn, brought the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl. I can bring in Bill O'Brien, who had winning teams with the Texans. Oh, but Adam, he fell apart when he was the coach and the GM. Well, guess what? He's not going to be the coach and the GM. He's just going to be the coach. When he was just the coach and didn't have an egomaniac breakdown, their teams were winning. But I digress. Let me keep going.
Yo, fuck Bill O'Brien.
I'm just saying.
Continue.
I'm just saying. You may not like the guy, but I'm just bringing out coaches.
No,
right?
I know. I just wanted to add that.
For all I know, we can bring Jim Harbaugh. He may not come here. All right?
I know, true. I just wanted to add that.
We got guys like Wink Martindale who can come in here. If I have a GM that comes in and puts a list on my table and says, "These are the guys I bring in."
Leslie Frazier, head coach of the New York Giants. Let's fucking go.
We need to bring in Leslie Frazier. I mean, that guy
didn't 1985 Bears, people.
I'm just saying, Leslie Frazier is not my first choice, but hey, you want to bring him in? That's Zion the GM, not Adam the GM. Adam the GM is going for some big fish. Okay, I'm going to go lure somebody away, but I'm also going to bring guys in with head coaching experience. A few of the guys that I named, no coordinator experience, none of this other garbage that we sit here and talk about. But we're sitting here as Giant fans, and it's wrong apparently for me, Zion, me, Miz, me, Mac, to think that we can fire a guy. Because guess what? Miz, you don't do your job in 2 years, you're getting the boot at your job. They're going to say, "Sorry, Miz, thanks for showing up. Bye-bye." Right? Mac the same way. Mac sits on a stream all day, and his boss comes by and says, "Hey, what the heck are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I was just, sitting here. I fixed this filing cabinet, though. I'm a good guy." They're going to be like, "Yeah, great job, Mac. See you later. See you on the unemployment line." Okay? Guy wants to fix the filing cabinet, and we're happy. Oh my God, they didn't leave golf clubs in the in the locker room. Give me a break. Who gives a shit about golf clubs? Yeah. That's what you're worried about?
They won more games with the golf clubs.
I'll tell you one thing. Last night's rant didn't help him. It made things worse for him by a lot.
Right. You're going to come out there and ramble when you never ramble at all. You talk about another coaching staff. By the way, we're playing Washington. You don't think Ron Rivera has his people getting ready? They might have lied down on Sunday and said, "Who cares?" But now they may say, "Let me go kick somebody in the balls because their coach is talking shit and he's done nothing but wipe his ass and fix a few filing cabinets." Because internally, the culture, which is a losing culture, by the way, I don't know why. First off, we use the word culture, but I don't know why people think that losing games, regressing is progress. Because why? Because people like him. That's not how you base a coach. Well, hey, guess what, guys? They like him. Who cares? Hey, guess what? We got rings. Why? Because he irritated people's assholes and he got them motivated. Oh, we play hard at him. This is the NFL. They're all going to play hard.
I'm glad you said that word progress, man, because that's what's bothering me right now with this whole Joe Judge narrative. A lot of people are like, they're just defending this guy where he doesn't deserve to be defended. I don't understand what progress anybody is seeing right now with the same. I'm like I said, I've been kind of down the middle in this topic as far as fire Judge, don't fire Judge. But at the same time, if we bring a new GM in from the outside, I want this guy to do whatever he feels is necessary. And if that means getting rid of Joe Judge's ass, then so be it. It has to be that way. I mean, I don't want to preserve Joe Judge's job just because we don't want to start over again after 2 more years. That's just in today's NFL, man. That's not a thing anymore, man. If you're not getting the job done, you got to go, man.
But guys,
I
these
just feel
are
like
guys
Joe
we
Judge
like
is
to root
dropping
for.
ball.
We like to root for Azeez Ojulari, so let's keep Joe Judge. Yay! Give me a break. Okay? Give me a effing break.
Real fast, before you bring in people, I'm sorry, guys. I was just gonna say that too. It's like, you know, I was right down the middle. Then I tried to decide more like, okay, I don't want to see a guy get fired. You know, give this guy one more chance. Try to come up with excuses on why. Then I
We got something to
realized,
say
and
after
I'm
this,
like,
Zion.
why am I babying this guy as a head coach in the league? I really rate the pros and the cons. And I'm looking like, what is the best for this franchise going forward? You know what I'm saying? So let's bring in people.
So somebody said to me, you like the guys they root for. Do we not root for Saquon Barkley? Because he wasn't brought in by Joe Judge.
It was a joke, I think.
Yeah, I was.
That was
No. It was serious. People are serious about rooting for players. Rooting for the players. Right? This is why we keep a coach, because we're rooting for his players. Give me an effing break. I'm not Judge Joe Judge because Azeez Ojulari is at 8 sacks and we're freaking 4-12.
Yeah. Like, I used to be on the side of keep Joe Judge, but I really thought about it last night. I'm like, why the hell? What would warrant bringing this guy back? We haven't made any progress. We've gotten worse. So.
One sec. Look, hold on. Listen. You want to keep. Here's the thing, man. The Giants are going to get a GM after next Sunday. That's the one fact we know. The Giants are going to go looking for a GM. You cannot promote this guy, Abraham, or whatever the hell I keep saying his name wrong, but Abraham, and you cannot promote within because you want to keep Judge. You cannot do that. That's an automatic failure. You got to go outhouse. You got to get the best GM out there that you think is going to come in with a vision. He's going to come in with a new direction. He has the ability. He's in touch with young talent, and he has the ability to scout. All those things that we've been bad at. And here's the key, my man. Go sit down and talk to Judge, and you decide, do you want to keep Judge, or do you have another coach in mind? It's up to you. I'm not forcing him on you. My other thing about Judge is this. He might have not had the best fair deal in the world with all these injuries and the mess that he came into. Last year in the draft, we knew we had one of the worst O-lines in the league. And I don't care what people want to say. People may say it was Gettleman, but I don't believe so. I believe Judge had a lot of power last year's draft, and he ignored the O-line completely. So when you say the O-line destroyed our season, a lot of that is on Judge.
Right. And the same can be said for Mike Glennon being brought in, because the publication that Logan quoted, I even showed the fan base, I don't know if I need to show it again on the stream, is an actual credible source. Okay?
But Adam, it wasn't a credible source. I can't talk, you know?
I mean, I guess hold on one second. I guess let me show you another with Dave Gettleman's face not on it, so you know you just didn't pick up one off the damn newsstand now. Okay, here's another damn issue. Okay, there's a publication. The guys in the building, they have media in the building. It's a credible source. Just because you don't want to listen to the fact that Joe Judge was the guy that helped bring in Mike Glennon. Give me a break. Oh, by the way, Mike Glennon didn't do that badly with the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. He's still terrible. They still lost, but he was more functional in that offense than he is here. Oh, and then Joe Judge wants to go out and lie. And AK, I'll let you have your moment. But
I don't. What?
I said, AK, I'll let you have the floor in a minute. But because you're on here, I don't want to just. I would like to hear about his opinion. But before I get off my soapbox, Joe Judge then goes out here and tells the media in that same damn press conference that the point was to run the football. Yet the same publication that I just showed you that Logan quoted, this thing I said, you're going to tell me that you football and the first play you run out the gate is an empty backfield?
Against a zero blitz?
Against a team that has a sack artist, and you don't change the play? You don't think, Joe, hey, Freddie, man, our quarterback kind of stinks. So let's open up the first play with a passing play. A normal coach, a good coach, would have vetoed that and say, run 12 personnel out there, you dumb fuck, and give the ball 26.
Speaking of that, also piggyback off of that point real quick. Shout out to Authentic. I was on his listening to his stream earlier. Something he brought up. The one game where Mike Glennon looked functional was when he came in for Daniel Jones against the Cowboys, and Jason Garrett was still the offensive coordinator. Mike Glennon actually did come in that game and finish that game fairly decently and strong, even though we got blown out in that game. But he was the quarterback that helped lead Kadarius Toney to a record-setting day. Keep that in mind as well. So how much of this is actually on Freddie Kitchens as well, man? Do you think?
I hate to break it to you guys, but
the day they were going to Kitchens and a lot of these guys were excited about him, I said, this guy is terrible. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I hate to break it to you guys, but Jason Garrett was the scapegoat.
Of course he was. None of this was Jason Garrett's fault. By the way, Jason Garrett is home. Adam, one thing, I know people don't like Jason Garrett, but he's home laughing at all of this. Trust me.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure. And I heard John Mara's like, shit, maybe I should have fired Joe Judge and kept Jason Garrett. He could have done with this team. Because to me, the thing that people understand, at least, is that the head coach is the man who sees everything. And apparently this guy has a detail everything. I guess not detailed enough for his own offense. Okay, because you're sitting there and you're telling me that Freddie Kitchens is going to call that play in the headset, and you're in the headset saying, yeah, that's a great job. Yeah, you don't even go, let me veto that. Because why? Because you want to trust Freddie Kitchens? You trust Freddie Kitchens? Mike Glennon looks worse in the system, and you put him in a precarious position on the opening play of the game. And then you want to tell me at the end of the game, well, our game plan was to run. You want to bring this guy lying to us? I mean, you could have a whole podcast just dissecting that end presser at the end of the year. Now, we have an Eagle fan on here, right? We all sat here, Eagle fan, that he was going to be fourth place. And guess what? Nick Sirianni has come in, and not only has he come in, but he's got his team in the playoffs. And they've had people too. They've had struggling offense. They've had blowout wins, blowout losses. Yet at the end of the day, that guy came in and adjusted his game plan from a pass-oriented team to a run-oriented team, and look where it got them. Instead, we're sitting here having a coach supposedly brought back because why? Because he's won 10 games in 2 years. Nick Sirianni has won games. He's only been there 1 year, maybe 8 games. I'm sorry if I'm shortchanging him.
No, we're 9-7.
Okay, 9 games. 9. He's about to clips Joe Judge's win total in one season. Well, we can bring Joe Judge back.
I mean, look, fellas, we on a roll. We on a roll with this topic. But AK, you got anything else you want to add to this topic, man?
Yeah, dude. I actually had one head coach in mind for you guys that I haven't heard anyone say, but he intrigues me again, and I've always loved him as a coach. He's older, though. But what would you guys say about bringing in Lovie Smith?
I wouldn't mind Lovie Smith.
That's a good idea.
Because that would scare me as an Eagle fan, bro. Because if you think about it, Lovie Smith is known for his defenses. I mean, you look back at the Bears, all of the things he's done there. With your defense that you have, he could bring out the best in your defense, and then you just bring in an offense coordinator to run your offense.
Right. I mean, good. The boxing, AK. Welcome on our show anytime. That thought process.
I just want to say, make sure you guys go sub up.
Logan, you got anything else on this real quick, man?
Fire Joe Judge.
All right, I'm gonna AK and Logan. I'm gonna
real
rotate
fast.
you guys back out. Logan,
real fast before you do that.
AK,
My bad to interrupt. I just wanted to say, yo, AK. I still want to do the Wondering Minds podcast with you. My
Oh,
bad.
for
I
sure.
totally blanked on it, bro. And I totally forgot it
No.
was on Mondays. And then I created this on Mondays. So I
Bro,
apologize. I just wanted to apologize, screen to screen right now. And I didn't mean to do that to you. I totally blanked. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
dude. I
make
haven't
sure you
even
guys
been
all go
doing them
sub up to
anyway.
AK. That's
Yeah, I
actually
haven't been doing them anyway because of Christmas and New Year's and just everything.
holidays.
And with
But I want
football
you to,
ready to end here, I was like, well, maybe I'll just postpone it till after football stops. That'll give us something to do during the off season.
I love it. I feel you, bro. And my bad for interrupting, Matt.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm gonna rotate Logan and AK you back out for a minute backstage. AK, could you please stay on backstage for a little bit longer? If you got time.
Got you, man.
I want you to get on the next on the topic and
What
coming
up,
up in a couple more. It's gonna be coming up in a few minutes here, man.
Yep,
We're gonna get to the next topic, but on the next one after that, I want you to jump on the one after that. All right. So I'm gonna rotate y'all back up again.
I got a question. Well, how come we did not offer Coughlin the GM job? Just wondering.
Because he was the GM and wasn't he doing something for the NFL? Or was
No,
he
I'm saying instead of pushing him out the door that day in 15,
got you.
Why didn't they promote him and say, listen, we want you to stay here and be a GM and let McAdoo be the head coach? Why didn't they try that?
They did. Actually, they offered him a front office position, but he was like, F you, John Mara, for embarrassing me in front of all these people and take that job and shut up your ass, all up in your ass. I'm a Jacksonville Jaguar.
But all right, this next topic, fellas, man. I don't know. We're not gonna have to we won't spend nearly the amount of time on this one that we did on this last topic. This is
I needed that topic because I had some bones to pick with some people, and I still got bones to pick with them. I ain't done picking this carcass.
Oh man, that's funny.
So this next topic, man, this is for the wrestling fans out there, man. I am a wrestling fan. It's something else I actually do. Because I watch wrestling, I watch WWE and all that crazy stuff, man. And they had a pay-per-view on Saturday night.
Max, sorry. Bump me out. Bring in Hit Squad or someone. I'll go back in the chat. Give someone else a chance.
Or Hit Squad. There's nobody else really waiting backstage, but
okay. I thought somebody was waiting. All right.
But
go ahead.
I was gonna say this is that WWE topic, man. And they had a pay-per-view on Saturday, the day one pay-per-view, where the headline match is supposed to be Brock Lesnar against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came down with COVID, so he couldn't participate, obviously. So I guess Brock Lesnar was already promised to the fans. They threw Brock Lesnar into the other title match. Ended up being a fatal 5-way, and Brock Lesnar walks away with the title again. But here's my biggest beef with this. Is with WWE is Brock Lesnar is a part-time performer, man, and I just feel like a part-time guy shouldn't be coming in and winning titles of that magnitude when you got all these other guys there working their ass off every single day of the week, and all Brock Lesnar has to do is show up once a month and get a title match. I just want to know how you feel about that, Adam, since I know you're the wrestling guy on the panel.
Well, see, the thing is with
I want to
Brock
answer
Lesnar
after Adam too.
I used to hate that stuff too. And CM Punk, who's now with AEW, by the way, AEW, good product. Y'all should watch AEW can. CM Punk used to call that out and saying all these guys come in and you come in one title and win the belt after doing nothing. Brock Lesnar, to me, is Vince McMahon's money ticket. Okay, he's the only wrestler that's part time that I come in that I can legitimately see winning titles. I mean, they bring in Goldberg, have him win a title. His geriatric probably wouldn't be doing nothing. They still bring him in and win a title, or he's fighting with Bobby Lashley. Give me a break. I also like part timers, but like me, one of my favorite guys right now is Edge. Okay, and what they're doing with him is terrible.
Edge is wrestling,
right? Excuse me.
No, I'm sorry. I just said Edge is wrestling because I remember him from his John Cena days. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm so out of it. Continue. I'm out. Don't mind me. I'll shut up.
Edge has come back and hugged him. Right now, you got Brock Lesnar. He was gonna win the title last night because I was like, all right, well, who's gonna fight Roman Reigns? Well, I guess they need somebody. Now it's going to be WrestleMania season. What I want to find out is who's going to build a new line with Brock Lesnar, because right now the only guys that I look at, Seth Rollins, he's annoying, but is he going to be?
Yeah, I like Seth Rollins. Right? He's nice. Irritating fuck.
You got
Ignore me.
Bobby Lashley, right? Bobby Lashley.
He's
who,
wrestling again.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he's probably going to
Who?
It's like Hollywood, man. It's like Hollywood
Powerhouse,
recycling stories.
No,
Continue.
That's what they do. I mean, the WWE is like a car dealership. They're just taking old ideas from the '80s and bringing them back. My other point is that they have nobody fight Brock Lesnar outside because McIntyre is now on SmackDown. So when a part-timer comes in, I was hoping Brock Lesnar was going to beat Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns, even though he's a heel, and this is probably the best work he's done, he's become soft because he's letting everybody else do the work. We used to like Roman Reigns because he could handle his own business. And what I don't understand was why the heck they put Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns can speak on the mic. The whole point about giving Paul Heyman a guy who has less mic skills or somebody that you want to promote. I don't need Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns. So to answer the question, no, I don't like that Brock Lesnar comes in and steals the title, but you're damn sure I'm going to find out who they try to build a storyline behind.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think what the initial plan was for Brock to take the title off of Roman Reigns, and this is just me kind of being a WWE fan for so many years that I kind of just know how they work. I felt like the plan was Brock was going to come in, win the title from Roman Reigns on Saturday. Then they were going to have Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble and set up the big rematch at WrestleMania and blah, 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 blah. That didn't work out with Roman getting COVID, and they couldn't have that match. So now I think the direction they could possibly go into, honestly, is one where they build a storyline where maybe now Bobby Lashley will end up winning the Royal Rumble, set up a big storyline with him and Brock Lesnar maybe, and maybe even bring Paul Lesnar.
Here's the thing, though, is when Royal Rumble will start to drop the seeds to WrestleMania, because whoever wins the Royal Rumble that's who they're most likely going to go after, right? That title. And I hope they don't do the dumb thing that they did with the women's Royal Rumble, where the woman won and then they went after the NXT title. I'm like, what the heck are you going backwards for? But anyways, my point is, if Bobby Lashley wins, he's probably fighting Brock Lesnar. Because I can just easily see Drew McIntyre getting it, because how Drew McIntyre is getting overlooked. He's the guy that I think is going to beat Roman Reigns. He's the only big dog on the roster that hasn't faced Roman Reigns. Excuse me. They teased it last year, and now they have a chance to do it. So why not do it?
Yeah, WWE has actually been pretty annoying to me the last past year.
Who was in this one? Who was in this match with him?
With the Fatal
Bobby
Five-Way?
Lashley, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and I forget who the last guy was.
Big E was the champion.
Oh, B.
Why didn't they give it back to Big E? I mean, like, who doesn't like Big E? I feel you. It's to sell tickets, right? Here's the thing. Why don't they give like I shouldn't really be talking. I'm so out of the loop on everything. But why don't they give it to the realest MFer in here? Just give Finn Balor the championship, right? He got some fans.
I love Finn Balor.
Yeah,
Finn Balor's great.
Got some fans, He's just probably the only.
But here's the problem with Finn Balor. He's getting dogged because Vince McMahon dogs everybody that's good. Okay. See, the thing is, Finn Balor got injured a couple times, and they like injuries. So when they have a guy who shoulder, you don't want to put the strap on him. They got to kind of earn it. That's how Vince McMahon works. Okay, he makes you. He loves two things. He loves a big, strong champion. That's what he loves. So guys to be body dominants, right? Hulk Hogan, guys like that. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rock. The list goes down. Macho Man Randy Savage. These were bigger dudes. It wasn't until they let Shawn Michaels win the title back in '95 and '96 where it kind of revolutionized the smaller kind of guy winning the title now. Right? And Shawn Michaels. Go ahead.
I was gonna say part of what bothers me with Vince McMahon is it goes back to. I mean, we all know wrestling. It's. I don't like to use the word fake because these guys they put their bodies on the line. Absolutely.
Yeah. So is every other show. They travel like 265 days out of the year. Like they have a hard schedule.
People tell me that all the time. But I look at them like this: you like Chicago you like Chicago Med or LAPD shit or whatever those freaking dramas are, they're pre-script too. You watch them because you want to find out what the fuck happens.
It's entertainment.
But that's what I was going to say. But my point, what I'm saying is all of this is you got all these guys, all this talent you bring in, they all put their bodies on the line, and yet you want to have a guy like, for instance, John Cena be the 20-time world champion. I don't need to see the belt around John Cena's waist 20 damn times. You know what I mean? You have
Give it to
plenty
Finn
of other
Balor.
talent that's not getting opportunities, and they're working just as hard.
Mhm.
So that's one of the main things. That's what I like about AEW is they actually bring their young talent in, and they're giving people shots and giving people chances to be on TV, showcase their talents. Whereas WWE, it's just the same old guys. We're just going to keep boosting the same guys up and letting the other guys just be here and just be. I
agree with Solo. Bret Hart was a smaller wrestler, but he was not smaller than Shawn Michaels. Okay,
no.
Like when you saw Bret Hart, yes, he wasn't muscular. Man loved that guy, but he also wasn't. He was no slouch. I mean, Shawn Michaels was like what 5'8", and he just looked a little ripped. I mean, my point is that I agree with you. I think they need to stop doing this, but it shows me that Vince McMahon is desperate. Plus, Fox is now running the show too. They need ratings. AEW is beating the crap out of them every week because AEW is like the Attitude Era. If you go to watch AEW, and I've watched their storylines, they got a 60-year-old sitting beating people up with bats. It's great.
What
you
channel
got
is
Jericho.
AEW on?
It's on TNT or TBS, one of those two platforms. I'm not sure our channel anymore. But to me, I used to record it every day. Dynamite and Rampage are great. And CM Punk is my favorite wrestler. And so when he went to AEW, I definitely tuned in even more because that guy comes in and ups fire on the mic. Okay, wrestling is a few things. It's
who
in-ring talent.
Who owns AEW? Who started that shit? Because that was hard to go against someone
Cody Rhodes.
that was the WWE.
Cody Rhodes and the son of the Jaguars owner, started AEW. And Cody Rhodes understands that it's the talent that dictates the storyline, not the other way around. Vince McMahon will come in on Monday or Tuesday and have a great story planned for SmackDown, and all of a sudden decide that minute that they're gonna change it up, like the Undertaker story, right? So Undertaker didn't know he was going to lose until he walked into the building that day at WrestleMania. He didn't know he was going to lose. He thought he was getting put over by Brock Lesnar. It wasn't walking into the building. Vince McMahon changed his mind, and that was it. And he lost.
Why even
make is Eddie Guerrero? That's what I said. I said Shawn Michaels was the first. Come on, people, y'all need to listen. I didn't say Shawn Michaels wasn't the only little guy. I said he was the guy that started winning the titles for the little guy. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to call me out. Please call me with the right stuff.
All right. If anybody else has any more final thoughts on this topic, we can get ready to move on to the next one.
Let's move on.
If y'all are good with that, y'all ready to move on? Let's just do it. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to bring AK back in, and I want to hear his opinion first on this topic, man. And that is, are the Philadelphia Eagles built to win in the month of January? AK, you with this, man?
Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. And Adam, I wasn't questioning you. I was just naming small guys, like from back to that. Yeah, no.
Adam gets so excited at times. I love it.
It's fine. It's all part of it. So are we built for January? That's a very good question. I want to say yes, but in my heart, I know there's only so little and far we can go, realistically. It all depends on how the first round goes and, who's healthy in our half room and whatnot for how that would go. But, if we have our run game and back to full health, well, who knows? But, I don't know, man. When you start talking about like Green Bay though, and some of these high-powered offenses, that's whenever you start to get the realist in me, because I know we're not built to go all the way. I know that. So, however far we get, though, it's already a win because everyone doubted us. Hell, you guys doubted us all year. You guys were saying we were going to have the first pick, and not just you, but everybody, everyone, even the analysts on ESPN were saying that shit. So everyone ate their words, and for us being in the playoffs, hey, that's just a win in my book already. So it doesn't matter how it goes from here on. Of course, I would love to win, but you know what I mean.
I like to go next. Go, Adam.
I'm still eating my words right now. I'm eating them. I added some A1 sauce to make them taste good.
Nice.
Okay, but my only thing is I think they are from January because they're a run predominant team, and those teams tend to do better in the playoffs. Now it's going to match up that you draw, right? If you do the Cowboys, I don't think the Cowboys are as strong as everybody thinks they are, but if the Eagles have a competent plan and don't do what they did against the Giants, come out lolling, going through the motions, I can see them stealing or two. Do I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl? I don't know, but I also said this team wasn't going to make the playoffs, and here they are. So, the Eagles are one of those franchises that are tricky. And so,
no, and I get it, man. But my whole credit is, listen, our offense, I'm okay with. I understand what we are. I know our limitations, and I know what to expect. You know what I mean? My biggest flaw in this team going into the playoffs is totally Jonathan Gannon and him alone. Because you've seen week in and week out, you get a different JG each and every week. And it's never consistent. He can do really good for a couple of weeks, and then you see last week, we almost ate it against Washington until after halftime when he turned it around, and everyone did. But we are a second half team, and that's my thing. Like, our defense kind of sits around and waits for our offense to pick up, and then that's how we win. With some of these high-powered offenses like Arizona, Dallas, and Green Bay, they're not going to be able to sit around and wait. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my doubt comes in a little bit.
I actually agree with you.
You never know. You may catch a team napping, and who knows?
But my take with the Eagles, man, is the same as most of us Giant fans, eating a lot of crow on the Eagles, man. Like I said, I was hard on Jalen Hurts this offseason, man. I was very hard on Jalen Hurts. And I got to admit, the guy is rounding out to becoming a competent quarterback in the NFL. Still not all the way where he needs to be, man, but he's been doing some good things. You guys are getting W's. And then the reason I believe you guys actually could make a little bit of noise to surprise some people, depending on the matchups you get in these playoffs, man, is because you can flat out run the football, man. And in January, if you can run the football, it can take you a long way, man. It really can.
No, I agree.
I witnessed it firsthand. And right now, I feel like no one runs the football as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys, I'm not sure what the status of Miles Sanders is, if he's going to be able to come back for you guys. I'm not sure. But at the same time, even if he can't, you guys have shown to be competent with Boston Scott, with Jordan Howard, even though the kid Gainwell in there. So, yeah, we're all eating a lot of crow on the Eagles this past year, man, because guys have far surpassed expectations. And it's for me, it's tough to admit. Like I said, I live right out here outside of Philly. I deal with Eagle fans on a regular basis. And it's not easy to sit here and admit it, but it's the facts are what the facts are, man. You guys played way above expectations, and you earned your spot, man. So good luck to y'all going forward, man.
Yeah,
and that's what.
Just kind of add on everything, because Adam and Mac said two excellent points, and just to add on to that, you guys look at the whole season as a whole. You guys won against the teams you guys are supposed to win against. You guys lost against the teams you guys are supposed to lose against. You guys didn't lose against bad teams. Every team that you guys lost against, the worst team you guys lost against was us. And it doesn't count because we're division opponents. The teams you guys are losing against, these are all playoff-bound teams, most of them. You know what I'm saying? And really good rosters. So as Eagles fans, I would just say again, congratulations, because us as Giants fans, we're sorry we was giving you guys a lot of shit, but that's the division opponents. We love to do that. And You know,
It's all love, man.
everybody counted out the Falcons. Look what the Falcons did. So you know what I'm saying? Go make some noise and we see what
Yeah.
happens.
Come on, come on, AK.
No,
you know, 4 wins is better than
and that's
9.
the thing, man. And that's the thing, man. You know that, but that's my worry. You know, hopefully we sit everyone this week coming up, and hopefully we let Jordan Howard Stinger rest and he's good to go for a wild card. Now Miles is a little tricky. He did break his carrying hand. He is right-handed, and it is his right hand that's broke. So I am a little scared about that. We might not be able to have him for our wild card game. But if we have Jordan, I'll be fine with that because Jordan has turned out to be truly really good for us this year. But no, I agree. Our run game can take us far. And it just all depends on what run game it is because you saw this past week against Washington, we counted a lot on Hurts. Know in the playoffs if you can do that as much because these other defenses that you'll be going against are a lot better, so they will be aware.
That's cool. Miz, did you have anything on this topic, man?
No, I don't want to say nothing about the Eagles. I got nothing to say.
All right, AK, if you got anything else,
I'll be real. I had the Eagles winning 5 this year. I was totally wrong. The Eagles are up to 9 right now. So, like he said, man, I mean, I can't say much. The Eagles are in the playoffs, and that's called for them. Out of what everybody was saying in August, they already had a successful season. So,
yeah,
absolutely,
that's a fact.
Hey!
Final
the
thoughts?
4 wins is greater than 9, fellas.
Man.
Hey, you too, buddy. Thanks for having me on, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Anytime.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring in Slay real quick and let him talk about this because this is his squad too.
Oops.
So what's going on? All right,
Well,
what you got on this topic, Slay?
Are we built for the playoffs this January? Agree with what most of you guys said. I feel like if we just run the ball and do what we've been doing to help us win football games, and I think we could be a mismatch nightmare in the playoffs. But we're still a young team, and I think the biggest thing with us is we can't execute on some situations. The first time we lost you guys, it's because Jalen Hurts didn't execute in that first game. And we were in the red zone a couple of times, and he didn't do some of the correct things to help us win that football game. So
that game, I don't want to go back and visit history, but I was there. Right. It's one Jalen Reagor drop away from winning the game.
Yeah. So,
you're not even worried about what Jalen Hurts did. So
right. So if we do some little things in that game, we might win that game, but I can't go back and change history. But I think some teams that we can be in the playoffs right now is Arizona. I think they don't have a legitimate run stopper. They have Kyler, but they don't have, the best defense, and the defense wins championships nowadays. People might say offense, but who helps the offense? The defense. So they don't got that, and I feel like our rushing offense could demolish that rush defense. The Rams, I don't see us beating them. The Buccaneers, maybe, but it's Tom Brady, so yeah, I think we have a slight shot in the playoffs.
But maybe the Jets made a blueprint for you on how to beat the Bucs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about that, right? The Jets were up the whole game, and then in the last few minutes, obviously, Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does, but don't take that for granted, okay? Mm-hmm. Like Max said, a heavy run team can be a great equalizer in a football game. Because when they run the football down your throats and you're keeping the time of possession and that other players off the field because you're running the football down their throat, your defense doesn't have to do as much, right? They only have to stop a few plays, get the ball back because time of possession is going to be key. And then what happens is when you set up the run, you got the play action pass that comes off. So many other things go with the running game that people tend to forget. So now I know that you're worried about certain teams, and hey, maybe losing the first round, I get it. But for me, if I'm looking at it as an outsider, the Eagles are built for the playoffs because what does everybody say when you get to the playoffs? You have to run the football, and this team is one of the best at doing that. And we'll see what happens. I mean, that's why you play the game on Sunday. Did anyone think the Giants are going to go to the Super Bowl? No, but they won games. I'm not saying you guys are, but then again, I was on here on many of these streams yelling at you, saying your team's going to be caca, and you're going to be number 4 in the division, and blah blah blah. And here you are, number 2 in the division, having progress being made for 9 wins. I mean, I wish I had a coach that could win 9 games. Oh wait, I have one that went 10 in 2 years. But that's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so my point is that good luck. We'll see. And I think Nick Sirianni, if he doesn't, talk about flowers, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the Bucks right now, I mean, they just lost Antonio Brown because they released them. So they're
no, not so fast, because I'm hearing reports that Tampa Bay did not release him now, which means I would not be shocked if Brown will be playing in the playoffs. Tampa Bay's not that stupid.
Do you want to bring him back after what he did yesterday?
He's a player, and they want to win a Super Bowl, and that's all that matters.
I mean, I understand that, but I don't know if Bruce Arians and him could work out, especially after what happened yesterday.
Bruce Arians want to win another ring. Trust me,
he does. But you also can't bring a guy back who you just put on the bench after
he's
not.
Okay, man. You give him a little medicine. You give him some medication for the brain, and play some football. That's all.
Hey, man, I don't know. I just don't see that happening.
I'm just telling you, I saw the report that the Tampa Bay has not released Antonio Brown, and that says something.
But either way, if he plays in the playoffs, we'll have another corner there. So it's one-on-one with Mike Evans, Darius Slay, Mike Evans. And then you have AB on the other side. Slay can rotate Evans or Brown.
Listen,
so we have that.
You had a nice season, but you're not beating Tampa Bay in the playoffs. Let's get serious right now.
Yeah. Sorry, Slay.
I mean, I can see us beating them. I just don't think it will.
Yeah, you seen you beating him in a John Madden game on Xbox. I understand.
He said no disrespect against Darius, but you basically just said it was nothing. We'll just put him on Mike Evans and we'll just put him on Antonio Brown. That's still Mike Evans and Antonio Brown, bro. Come on, dude, he's not in his prime, homie.
By the way, man,
yeah, but he's not in his prime. Homie.
Shaq Barrett and JPP did not play yesterday. I'm not knocking the Jets. They played a game with their heart. I give them that. Those are 2 monster defensive ends that did not play in that football game. You understand?
Now, Mish, we played the Buccaneers early in the season, right? And that game was very close. It was 28-22. And who caused most of those touchdowns for the Buccaneers? Antonio Brown. And if he's released, who's going to get those touchdowns? Evans, okay, you got Slay on them. So are they going to run the ball? That's one of the best teams.
They got a couple tight ends that are pretty good. So.
Okay, they got the tight ends. That's probably going to hurt us. But
Tyler Johnson?
Yeah, I get that. But we have another guy on the other side of Slay that can
Mills.
Here's the thing. I get what you're trying to say, but there's someone called Tom Brady, bro. Plays a big difference.
Yeah, that's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing that's gonna lose us this game. They have Tom Brady, we don't. So
I'll tell you where to lose the game, man. First of all, I'll tell you where you lose the game. First of all, the game's in Tampa Bay. That's number 1. Forget that. Tampa Bay's defense healthy. That front 7, you are not running the ball on them, not at all. That's where your game ends.
Yo, Miz, didn't we not?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You had a good season
against the best rushing defense.
Listen, man. Listen, I'm not taking away from you. You had a nice season. You could win 10 games this week. You had a real good season. But if you think you're going as far into the playoffs and then beating Tampa, man, you started smoking at a young age.
No, man, I'm not saying that. I don't think we're beating Tampa Bay. I think there's maybe a 10 to 15% chance so that we beat Tampa Bay, but I think they get that dub right there.
It's not a knock on you guys. You had a real good season, man. I'm telling you, the Eagles are having a good year.
Come on, Miz. 9 wins is not as great as 4 wins. Come on, you know this.
Who said that? Lou
9
said
wins,
that.
not as great as 4 wins. I mean, come on, don't you want me changing your coach? I mean, do you
Yo, let
want to
Luke
not go
call
to the
in.
playoffs? I mean, come on.
Let Luke call in. If you want to pop me out into the chat, I will. Let Luke get a chance to come in.
I think Lou might be on
Said they were just gonna say some dumb shit.
I think Lou is on doing his own stream. I think he's just in the chat.
He's in the chat.
I think he's doing his own stream though. I don't think he probably can't come on.
Lou's
I think he's still
talented. He
doing
could do 2 streams at once. You know that.
4 wins, guys.
But
$200 million. That's what we paid for.
I mean, if you guys do everything,
Congratulations, Slay, and good luck in the playoffs, bro.
it'll be a competitive division.
Don't really
Hey,
mean that,
listen.
but just wanted to be nice.
Listen, don't take your 9 wins and think that it's progress or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's 4 wins and cleaning up a filing cabinet. Now that's progress. That's somebody I want on my team.
Oh man!
you got any final
Well,
thoughts?
who would the
man?
Eagles play in the first round? Most likely Dallas.
Right now,
Bloody
we would
Dallas.
play the
Cowboys.
Los Angeles Rams.
Rams right now. They're the Rams right now.
Oh, you're not gonna beat them.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't see
Yeah,
us beating
that's
them.
not a good matchup for y'all.
I thought you were playing the Cowboys.
That would probably be the
No,
worst case scenario. End up playing the Rams. It'll be the worst case scenario.
The only way we play the Buccaneers is if the Los Angeles Rams beat the San Francisco 49ers and we handle business against Dallas. And then we would become the 6th seed and then the Niners would become the 7th seed. And then we would play.
Now, Slay, if you like,
The
please
Buccaneers.
don't. But if you wanted to sit here and explain the way you can beat Dallas, I might listen to you. But don't like against
Right.
Tampa, Slay. That's a different beast.
Man, you act
LA
like
is-
this team is like so like deadlier. I mean, they got a lot of pieces, but like they're not
Come
like
on,
the
man.
best team this year. They've had their up
Let's
and
see.
down.
They're defending
Wait,
world
wait, I
champs,
s-
man.
Mac, if you go back up in the chat, I said at some point Slay about to say some dumb shit.
Yeah,
Guess
just
what
read it up.
happened?
You did. I remember seeing
Yep.
that.
That's
But
some dumb shit.
Slay should say that because he's an Eagle fan and they're going to the playoffs, so
true.
he
That's
should
true.
believe. He should.
You should believe.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
not
Do
wrong.
I
You know
think
what
it's
he
gonna
did?
happen?
He saw,
No.
he saw another green team kind of, keep the Tampa Bay team in check, and he's like, "Oh well, maybe that'll be us."
No,
I have a-
Adam.
I have a-
In my right state of mind, I don't think we're gonna beat the Buccaneers anyway. So it's
I have
And
a
then they're
I have
going to jump on your chest as they walk on by to the NFC Championship game.
I have a question, and this is for Adam. If we're supposedly building such a great culture here, how come an unhealthy Jets team can go down to the final whistle with the Bucks, but a fully healthy Giants team gets blown out by 20 plus against the Bucks?
Wait, Logan, what? You can't bring that on here. You can't ask that question. You can't ask that question.
No,
Remember,
wait a
we
minute.
paid
That's not
You guys are
true.
nuts.
That's not
We
true.
paid $200 million
Last year
for
we
4
gave-
wins. No, I'll
Last
answer
year
that
we
question.
gave
It's
Tampa
because
Bay to
it's-
overtime,
I'm saying
right?
this year. I'm saying this
It's
year we got
because-
blown out by
it's because-
20.
we got railroaded, but a team that is playing for nothing, that has no expectations, that, hey, 4 wins for them is better because guess what? They won 2 games the previous season. And they
True.
toe with one of the best teams in football.
But we
And
get
what
blown out
we
by
do-
25 with a fully healthy roster.
What we do is we give Daniel Jones every excuse in the book as his dumbass throws across the field to a waiting arms of a Tampa Bay defender.
Nose tackle.
Yet we want to say, well, this team's got progress, great culture. Yeah, you know it's great culture right now? Look at the Jets right now, okay? I know Miz is going to hate me because I'm talking about the Jets, but if you look at what their expectation level is right now, they weren't expected to win games. That team is competitive. That team has got better every week, okay? They didn't win any games, but they sure as hell were in them. And when you were up big, and they were up big against Tampa Bay for a while, okay? And then, of course, they didn't score anything for the last 18 minutes. They couldn't do much. But my point is that team, I can see progress. Our team, who spent, but let me go over the numbers again: $200 million, $76 million for a receiver, another $22 million for a cornerback, and we sitting here getting smoked. And our fan base goes, "Hey, high five!" Or no, some of our fan base are, "Hey, high five! A filing cabinet was fixed, guys. Don't worry about that loss. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about a team that's shittier than us, doing better than us against a team that came in and smoked us." It's progress, guys. 4
This
wins.
is for
Yay.
This is for Buko. The Jets are headed to the Jets might be decent in a few years.
Decent. They might be one of the best teams in that conference in the next few years.
Buko and I talked every day, and he's a very intelligent guy, and he understands football. And sometimes when he gets angry at the media, he'll call me up and say, "Am I crazy about this or that and the other thing?" And we bounce ideas off each other. Just so when we get eviscerated in a podcast, we make sure that when we call somebody who's sane, that they see what we're saying is also okay to talk about. So he likes Wilson. Look at what that team is. His expectations when he called me were, he said, "Adam, all I want them to do is play good and the quarterback look competent. I don't care if we win that many games. You know what I'm saying? These are the two requests I want. Look like a competent football team and the quarterback not shit the bed." Well, guess what? He's getting his wish. Okay, he's got a coach that they are playing hard for. All right. Oh, I guess professional athletes don't play hard anymore. Give me a break. Okay, we got a coach that doesn't even know how to use a timeout.
We got a coach that challenges scoring plays. Remember that, Adam.
We got a coach that wants to go on an 11-minute rant, dumb shit. And we're all looking at it. What are you talking about? Give me a break. Your offensive line coach just threw your player under the bus just because your dumbass doesn't know how to do anything.
What's up, Pat?
Oh, let's go.
Oh,
all right. So we're gonna ask Adam to breathe. Let's take a breather.
I'm off out of this. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna watch. I'm here.
Let's move on to the next
all right,
subject.
Miz. Thanks for jumping on, Miz. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, appreciate
No. I'm still there, but I'm giving you a chance to have a conversation. You know what I mean?
It ain't no conversation. We can go right now. Let's strap up the bootstraps, baby.
Well, look, man. This is the week. This is about Joe Judge. This is the week. This is about the Giants. Sunday's game ends, and there's going to be a lot of big decisions Sunday night and Monday. So you might as well just get into it now. There's no avoiding it. It is what it is. It's our future. So.
All right, man. You have
you got any final thoughts on this one, man?
Not really.
How about you, Logan? You got any more thoughts on this one?
No, but if the Jets can compete with the Buccaneers while unhealthy and the Giants can't while healthy, that shows something about our coaching.
I love it. Thank you, Pat. Let's get it.
I was actually about to switch the topic, Ash, but if you got something on this one, man, if you want to chime in about this, how you feel about the Eagles' chances in January or in the playoffs, man, you can go ahead and chime in on this if you want, bro.
Oh, that's the topic?
Yeah, right now, the Eagles built to win in January.
Buddy.
Do you believe the Eagles are built to win in the month of January?
Do you believe that 4 wins is better than 9?
Stop, Adam. Stop. Ash, do you believe that the Eagles are built to win in January, or are they a playoff-ready team?
Sorry,
I don't think Ash cares.
My Wi-Fi cut out. My fault. But what was the
question? Is the Eagles built to win in January?
I mean,
let's get it, G Nation.
I guess running a football is a formula for winning. All 17 games. So I'm not gonna say they're not built to win because we saw crazy things in this league. But the Eagles have had a good season. When a lot of people doubted them, saying they were going to finish in 4th, a lot of Giants fans saying that Nick Sirianni was a sandwich coach, was a sandwich maker. He's talking about playing rock, paper, scissors in press conferences and stuff. And with our coach, we we thought that we had a coach and the Eagles would be at the bottom of the division, but they flipped it. So the Eagles definitely.
Come on, Ash. Joe fixed the filing cabinet and everyone's all happy. Joe cleaned the office, and here we go. He cleaned up an office and straightened out a filing cabinet. He's the greatest coach in the world. Culture.
Shut up, Adam. Shut the hell up. But yeah, even though the Eagles have had a good season, and this is no hating at all. I'm not speaking as a Giants fan when I say this. I'm speaking as a NFL viewer
I feel you.
fan. The Eagles, I believe the Eagles will be gone in the first round. And again, not trying to hate or nothing. I just don't think you have a quarterback this is going to be his first playoff first playoff game, and you are a young team, and so you have a coach and a lot of players that this is going to be their first year of experience. So I don't think that is going to do well in their favor. But I feel like they're going to be bounced out the first round. We got to see who they face them, but yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
But I just want you to remember this while you're watching the playoffs. 9 wins is not as good as 4.
No, man. Culture is what matters, guys. We got a culture. We're going.
No, man. He fixed the filing cabinet, so we're good to go.
So dark horse teams. I don't know if I really have any dark horse teams. If I had to choose, probably one is I don't even know if they could be considered the dark horse teams if they even make the playoffs. I think they're making the playoffs. I think they have to win a game. Is the Colts? You know, the Colts might come out there with Jonathan Taylor and their defense and totally sneak it. But you know, at the AFC, it's still hard because you got those powerhouses there. You know, and then as for the NFC, I don't really have any dark horse picks because I truly think that it's going to be the Rams versus the Packers in the NFC Championship game. I could be wrong. Tampa Bay could find a way in there.
You're sleeping on the Titans?
But I don't know if the Titans is necessarily a dark horse pick, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. In the NFC, it's going to be probably, like you said, Green Bay and Tampa Bay or Green Bay and L.A. Although I'm by L.A. because I don't necessarily want to see Odell Beckham Jr. go, but I would like to see how he performs in a game where he's not on a boat trip the week before. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, right? I think that it's, you know, and to be honest, just looking at it, it's like Green Bay lost twice in the championship games 2 years in a row. So it's like
Arizona. Nobody feels like Arizona's going to be there in the dance.
I don't think so.
Their defense isn't that good.
But I was going to think Arizona, they can get on the roll, man. You never know. I mean, it's
Andy wants to have a debate. I love it. Look at that. Sorry to interrupt.
We can debate, but I don't have all day to do streams every week or every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take you up on your offer. Don't get it twisted, people. We'll have that pay-per-view for you live on a show. That's a heavyweight fight that's going to happen. But I've said my piece. I don't know if I'll be able to come on tomorrow. If I can, let's do it. We highlighting your comment right now, G Nation. We see it. The pay-per-view is going to happen. But it's going to happen on my time because I can't spend every day on a damn stream. I got a wife and 2 kids.
But Adam, we're building a culture, man.
Yeah, because we fixed the filing cabinet. Thank God.
So he's Pat says Titans versus Chiefs and Rams versus Packers.
Yeah, I would like to see the Titans go. I don't know why. I just want to see him go. I think they've earned it. You know, I think they said Derrick Henry might be back. I mean, imagine that, right? Imagine that guy comes back and they're in for the AFC Championship game or something crazy. Or think about it, maybe the Super Bowl. You know, I said yes.
You said yes,
but I don't. You know what, Lou? If you ain't listening, so I ain't giving you the answer. You can go back and find out.
All right. I think he wants to agree. He wants to say yes.
But I was thinking, I'm on board with that Tennessee Titans thing, man.
That's so dope, boy, Pat. I love it. Sorry.
When we talk about all these injuries and use these injuries for the New York Giants, the Tennessee Titans are a prime example of what I'm talking about. Next man up. Derrick Henry is absolutely, I think, can we all agree, is probably their absolute best player on the football team.
He had 900 yards and 10 touchdowns in 8 games.
I mean, that man went down.
Matt, at one point, I don't mean to cut you off, but at one point, they did lead the league in players on IR. And at that point, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC.
That's what I mean. So that's what I'm getting at. Like these cats, no excuses, man. You got to somebody else got to step up, get the job done. They've had the injury with the wide receivers, Julio Jones, AJ Brown, all season. Okay, I'll give him the one constant has been Tannehill's been healthy all year, and he's been coming running out that tunnel all year for him. But when you lose a player the magnitude of Derek, that means as much to your team as Derrick Henry, and you can still hold it together and still find ways to keep winning football games. I don't even know who they're running back. Who those guys are just running the football for
Dante
Tennessee
Foreman.
right
Deontay
now?
Foreman.
I don't even know who these cats are, where they found these guys from. But that's my point. You got to find the coaches. You got to get the most out of what you got on your team, man. And that's what they had to work with after Derrick Henry left. They brought Adrian Peterson in, for crying out loud. I mean, come on.
He was there to fix the filing cabinets. He was there to fix the filing cabinets.
They find a way. You find a way to get it done, man. Like, there's no excuses. That's what a coach's job is. You find a way to get it done, and that's why I respect everything that they're doing in Tennessee, man.
Not our coach. All our coach got to do is fix a couple filing cabinets, and we got a great culture.
I would hope like hell that they can that maybe this team could find a way to make it to the Super Bowl, man, or play their way to the Super Bowl. Because if any team has earned it this year, the Tennessee Titans have absolutely earned it, man. They, like I said, most teams lose their best player. That's lights out. Look what Plaxico Burress, the loss of Plaxico Burress did to us back in 2000.
Don't talk about a good team now, Mac. Don't talk about a good team.
like that was a devastating loss at the time when it happened. And
he was from Texas. Pat was
we were never able to recover from it, man. So I just feel like the Tennessee Titans are a team that has done it the right way, and I would love to see them be like dark horse. I mean, I don't know if they really consider dark horse. They have had a pretty successful season, even with the injuries, but at the same time, I think people will still consider the Kansas City Chiefs and a little bit more, a couple other teams more the cream of the crop over there, man. And
but I like that they're number one, because if they has to go through Tennessee, it might be a different ball game. The only problem I have with the Tennessee Titans that scares me is Ryan Tannehill tends to wilt in big games. Okay, look at all the playoff games he's been in. You know, he hasn't been the star of the show, and with Derrick Henry not in the game or at this point not there, things can change. I mean, the playoffs are one of those funky pieces of the drama that, you know, a team like Buffalo, like Jeffrey says, can come in and steal a victory, because now they're not focusing on Henry.
But they have a culture, so they'll win.
Look at last year, though, when the Titans were in the playoffs, when they faced the Ravens. The Ravens shut down Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill wasn't effective.
Right, like, that's why I say he looks in the playoffs.
Yeah, so and then Derrick Henry coming off of the injury, do you really expect him? I know I don't want to take Derrick Henry for granted. I'm not saying that at all, but do you really expect him to be Derrick Henry, like, of the season? Do you expect him to be King Henry, or do you expect him to be, Derrick Henry coming off the injury? That's another thing. So
I mean, but the thing about that I'm factoring in is what you said. You know, Tannehill is what we hope that Daniel Jones becomes, or Daniel Jones hopes he becomes once he gets booted from the Giants, right? You know, he hopes to resurrect his career. But do you really put your faith in that guy? I'm not sure that Ryan Tannehill can win the game by himself on this team. Now, if Julio Jones is playing, if A.J. Brown's playing, if Henry's playing, maybe he can win. But that's the only thing that scares me about Tennessee. Well, actually, the second thing popped up. Their defense sometimes can be shaky as well. So they have been in the playoffs before. Mike Vrabel's gotten them a couple times there. But again, they've fallen flat in big games. Against Texans, they fell flat. And then Kansas City, they fell flat. And then, of course, last year, they fell flat. So let's just see, with the home field advantage right now, they look like if they win their game on Sunday, they'll be the top seed. They'll get the bye. And maybe with the 2 weeks that they get to, prepare for this team, they'll get a guy like Derrick Henry back. And maybe this is a whole different ball game.
I just want to bring up one more team that nobody mentioned real quick in the AFC, man. How do anybody feel about the New England Patriots' chances going into these playoffs, man?
Maybe.
Can't sleep on Belichick.
Yeah, you have to respect Belichick to a point where saying they do have a chance. You know what I'm saying? What he's able to do as a young quarterback, and I get it. Mac Jones, he's not playing the best football, but he's playing really good football for a rookie, and some would say above average. You know what I'm saying? And then you just look at that defense, just the coaching, the coaches on staff. You can never count out Bill Belichick, and they'll just be disrespectful.
Jeffrey said the Bengals. How do we feel about that team making any noise in the playoffs?
I like
they're making a lot of noise right now. That's for damn sure. I tell you that. And
they can
like
get
Colts
into a
too, Chris.
shootout with anyone. They really can.
Nobody roared louder than Jamar Chase yesterday. I'll tell you that, man. He had a hell of a day yesterday.
266 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I mean,
Damn.
and I believe right on the same exact podcast a week ago, we were talking about Joe Burrow being an elite quarterback. Is he already elite? I think once again he proved once again he's taking.
I feel bad about that. All of our questions on that podcast, bro. RIP John Madden.
Daniel Jones is elite.
Look at that stuff.
Here's the thing, Mac. Here's what we're not realizing. Joe Burrow isn't elite after being good all season, but after one Saints game, Daniel Jones is top 3.
Yes. Daniel Jones is the next Eli Manning. He's an elite quarterback. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Okay?
Eli Manning.
We're sitting here. Is Joe Burrow elite? Like what rosy colored glasses that you're watching the Giants and you're going to say that Daniel Jones is elite, but this guy who has produced week in and week out all season, oh, he's not elite. No, he can't be elite. He doesn't know how to change a filing cabinet. He can't be elite. Give me a break.
Now, can I ask y'all this?
Yes.
Can I ask y'all this though? I know this is y'all's show, and I know y'all got y'all topic, but I just really wanted to ask y'all this. And I'm not trying to be like this hindsight-sided criticist, but back when the 2018-19 season ended, I was always thinking that we wouldn't have a chance at Kyler Murray, and me being an Ohio State fan, I wasn't really that fond of Dwayne Haskins, right? So, and again, this is it. Kind of makes me not want to ask the question because it's 3 years after. But do y'all think we should have just rolled it out with Eli just one more year?
Yes.
Yes, because we could have had freaking Justin Herbert.
Absolutely.
Because
it kind of makes it easy now.
Because if we sit here,
it kind of makes it easy now to say. And while since we've seen Daniel Jones for 3 years, but at the time, would y'all wanted to like after the 2018 and 19 season, would y'all have wanted to ride it out with Eli for one more year?
Yes, because
I'm gonna say no.
The whole point is this. I'll let you get to your no in a minute, Zaya. The reason I say yes is because when they went into the draft in 2019, they wanted Justin Herbert. It was all over the news. The Giants knew it. They smelled it. That was their guy. He went back to college, and they panicked and drafted Daniel Jones. Now, they brought in Eli Manning, and they wanted to do that stupid mentorship shit that they were saying, well, we're not going to have to start Daniel Jones for a couple seasons. And they probably were right. Maybe he shouldn't have started. But what happens is, I would have then, if you're going to keep Eli and you're going to fire Pat Shurmur because, that's the plan, right? If you're going to let him be your starting quarterback, they should just rode it out, right, with him because he had Barkley. Let Pat Shurmur fall on his face, right, because they were going to fire him anyways, and then let the new guy come in and then draft Justin Herbert. I guarantee you, if Dave Gettleman doesn't fall in full bloom love with a guy from Duke, we probably have Herbert. Instead, we're watching Herbert because the plan was to keep Eli Manning and draft a quarterback.
I say no because at the time, what I remember is Herbert wanted to go back to college, and obviously that sucked. I remember watching his fucking conference saying he's gonna go back to Oregon and stuff like that. Not really a conference, but his social media thing. Anyhow, at the time, what I remember is I tend to try to forget these moments, but towards the end of Eli's basically his last season, he was missing wide open receivers in the end zone. He was missing a lot of key, he didn't trust the people in front of them. And for us to look back at it 3 years, it's easy to say, yeah, we should have kept him. But if you really looked at the state of the team, everything was just aligned for us to take a quarterback because we wasn't planning on picking that early. That at pick 6, we wasn't planning on staying in the top 10 for 3 years. We wanted to be. We was all happy that, hey, look, we got our running back. You know what I'm saying? We got our wide receiver, and now we can get a quarterback. It was just aligned. It was like destiny for us at the time. And Giants fans were just happy that we was able to pick in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? And granted, we've been around the top 15, the top 10. We've been bouncing, but at the time, to say that now to say like should Daniel Jones should have sat the whole season? Now that's going to be different. But to say that we shouldn't have drafted a quarterback, I think that was the right time and place to draft a quarterback because Eli was fading as well. Now could have carried us one more season? Absolutely. But I remember a lot of missed passes also.
Right, but I think people would have been happy with Eli Manning giving a swan song and playing all his games, right, and getting the better prospect.
I wanted him to play. Now to start Jones in week 2, I didn't really like that. I think that we should have sat him behind Eli Manning for a whole year. Now I agree with that point. Manning should have, yeah.
But it's interesting, right, because you see that they got rid of the. Excuse me.
No, I was just reading Jeff's comment. He said his O-line was trash too, though, and I'm like, yes.
So I mean, yeah, Eli Manning's O-line was trash, yeah. But the point was, I guarantee you, he's not getting sacked the same amount of times as Jones. I don't think we win many more.
No, Adam. Keep in mind, man. His last season, man, the guy barely tried. Like he looked so scared and so different from the Eli that won us the Super Bowls, bro. Like he would just give up, like he could have stayed in that. Young Eli could have stayed in that pocket and just execute to the very end. He was going down before the guy even got won his assignment. Eli's going down. Eli, stop calling out.
When there was blocking, he did it because if you look at the game against the Eagles in Miami, he played solid in those 2 games as well. The first 2 games of that year. Eli Manning, the reason why he started it, because you watch that Buffalo Bills game, there's a couple of chances where Eli Manning can run into the end zone or run for a first down, and he doesn't. And the reason why they started Daniel Jones, besides to save Shermer's job, is to try to give a little bit of juice to the offense, because Daniel Jones, they thought, could run around. Now, my point is that, yes, I think they had to choose a quarterback? Right. I do believe they had to choose a quarterback. But if they decided they wanted to go with Josh Allen and then at the second pick draft somebody else, right, and then go next year knowing that Justin Herbert's coming out and knowing that you're not going to be a good team anyways, you just go, okay, well, we know this season we're not going to be that good. Let's draft the guys we can. Let's build, I don't know, maybe offensive line or defensive line. You could have probably drafted Josh Allen and then took an offensive lineman at 17, right? Then you would have been then you could have gone through the draft, did whatever you had to do. The next year you come out, you still stink. And guess who's sitting there? Guess who's sitting there waiting for you? Why? Because Joe Burrow came out at the same time. So not only do you have 2 guys that are going to be in the draft, but you'll have your pick of a top quarterback. And you get the guy that you want to actually build around. Not some guy that you just happen to put his tape in and watched a couple YouTube clips. It was like, oh, great, let's do it.
Stop it, Adam. He went to the Senior Bowl.
Oh, I'm sorry. Super Bowl MVP. He fixed 2 filing cabinets. That's why he got picked.
We're going to get ready to wrap this up in a minute. Before we go, just this last quick topic, man. We had a really, really rough week. Not just in sports in general, man. We lost some legends this week. Absolute legends, man. John Madden, rest in peace to John Madden, Betty White, and Dan Reeves. If you guys have any thoughts on these really amazing people that were big parts of my childhood and coming up?
I've been watching the Golden Girls since the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this real fast. Like, all 3 great entertainers in their own way. All 3 lived a nice, long, beautiful life, and wishing them the best in the afterlife. And I'm gonna let you guys take over because you guys seem knowledgeable, like before my generation, kind of in a way. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to touch base on each one. I'll start with Betty White first because since we're a football podcast, I'll just get her out of the way. Betty White is great. I liked her. If you, like Max said, if you've been around any sitcom, Golden Girls has been around. Betty White's popped in and out of commercials, movies. I mean, if you didn't know who Betty White was, well, go Google her now because she's had an iconic career, damn near 100 years old. The woman was still doing it a few years ago in certain sitcoms and outlasted every Golden Girl on that show. And that show, even though people are going to laugh, oh, Adam, you watch Golden Girls? Go look it up. It's a fun show.
Golden Girls is a funny show. It's absolutely a funny show.
So the second person, Dan Reeves. Like Dan Reeves, he was great player, with the Cowboys, good coach. Probably should be in the Hall of Fame. He was with the Broncos. They lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, so he has that connection there. He also was head coach of the Giants. In one of their last playoff game they won, without going to the Super Bowl. Dan Reeves has that.
Appreciate that, Janation.
That little asterisk next to him. I mean, the problem with Dan Reeves is that he ended up with Dave Brown as his quarterback, so he can't really help much when you go from Phil Simms to Dave Brown, the Daniel Jones of the Giants back then, right? Actually from the same school, Duke. So I know Dan Reeves, and then of course he went to Atlanta and did the Dirty Bird and all the way to the Super Bowl, and then got trounced by John Elway and the Broncos. But that guy, that guy will have a place in my heart as a Giant fan. I grew up with his teams. Did I always like Dan Reeves? No. Again, I was like a little younger than Logan, so I didn't really understand everything about football at that time. I would really say 97 is kind of where everything took off for me. I watched in 95. I learned more in 96. Dan Reeves gets fired. They bring in Jim Fossil, and away we go. And then the last guy is one of my favorites of all time. I think the only other celebrity that I felt bad about or the other two celebrities was the guy from Lincoln Park and Robin Williams. And now we got John Madden here who kind of touches my heart because, I played his video games since basically 1997 when I started getting PlayStation. I remember when he put the juke button into the Madden game. I mean, the juke, people think now the juke's been here, but in 99 the juke was ill. If you could take kickoffs back because you could juke the crap out of people with that little shimmy shake move that he added in 1999. Not to mention when he would announce your games, that was the game of the week. You cleared your schedule to listen to John Madden. I mean, when I grew up, he was predominantly calling Green Bay, Dallas, and 49er games, and that's because the Giants sucked. But Mac knows that he also called the Giant games in the 80s, and he was the voice of the Giant fan in the 80s. So John Madden, if you don't know who he is or you need more information, go look him up and go see what he's done. Because you want to talk about an icon like Hulk Hogan or The Rock, you could say is like the icon of WWE. Right? Like people are going to know him across the board. People know who The Rock is, right? People know who John Madden is. You don't really need to be 100% into football to know the name Madden. That means you've transcended your sport.
Absolutely agree, man, with that take on Madden. Madden, yeah, I just can't say more amazing things about this guy, man. Like, I literally had the first Madden game on Sega Genesis, bro. That's how I take it all the way back to there, man. And just what that game has evolved to, and just it's what it's become. I mean, who would have thought a game that came out in the early 90s or whatever on the little Sega Genesis game system, little 8-bit system or whatever it was, you know what I mean, would turn into an absolute global phenom. Like it's just people playing Madden all around the world now, man. Like playing. I mean, I could sit here right now and play a game of Madden against some cat over in fucking England somewhere. You know what I mean? Because that's what video gaming has become now, and Madden is a huge part of that, man. I remember waiting in lines at midnight to get the new Madden game at the stores, bro. I was one of those cats, man. Yeah, I used to be one of those people.
Hey,
man.
Listen, man. You had to get the ticket. They had to give you everything. You waited in line. If you didn't get a ticket, you were kicked out of the line. Yeah, we know how it is now. We didn't have Amazon back then.
Hey, I'm still to this day
pre-ordering digitally. I'm pre-ordering Madden every single year digitally.
Just so I can spank you, Zion.
Yeah, we used to pre-order.
Okay.
You have to go to the store, go to KB Toys, buy the pre-order slip, bring that slip.
Oh my God, I remember KB Toys.
Right. You got to, but you know what I'm saying? Like everyone thinks, oh, Amazon. I'm sure when you get pumped out of your mom's, you know what? You think, oh, Amazon's been here forever. No, it hasn't. You know,
Sure hasn't.
you couldn't just instantaneously get Madden or do what, you know, you had to wait in line. Oh, it's been sold out for weeks. I mean, the greatest movie that accentuates this is what is that thing? Jingle All the Way, when they're trying to get the Turbo Man. And everyone's trying to get the Turbo Man.
That's a good movie.
Right? So think about that. That's the 90s. I remember my mom trying to get the freaking Power Ranger toy and it was sold out. You heard on the news people getting trampled and shit. And that's how it was to try to get Madden.
And yeah, it's like, and so like I said, I've been speaking about Madden all week, and it just, God rest his soul, man. Like that's a huge loss to just not even the football world, to just like you said, to the world period, man. And Betty White, like Adam was saying earlier, I know a lot of you younger guys wouldn't have an idea about too much about Betty White, the Golden Girls, all the movies she's done, the sketches. She's an absolute icon. She's been entertaining the world since like long before I was born. You know what I mean? Back when my mom was a kid,
like
Betty
60
White
years almost.
Was already doing her thing, man. Like, so yeah, she's an absolute icon. Anybody who doesn't know, man, let's go back and look at some Betty White stuff, man. Some of her work over the years, man. It's been absolutely amazing. And like Adam was just saying, she was literally still working up till the last couple of years. The woman is 90, passed away at 99, only a few weeks away from her 100th birthday, man. I mean, and she was putting it down, man. So that's a big, huge loss, unfortunately, for the entertainment world. And then Dan Reeves always was a class act, man. He may not have been the greatest New York Giants coach, but he came in after a complete shit show with Ray Hanley, and he got this team going back in the right direction. Dan Reeves iconic for I believe it's still the last coach ever to do this. Wear the suit on the sideline every game. That's how that man dressed. Well dressed Dan Reeves, man. Like, that's the level of respect that man had for everything he did. He wanted to present himself very respectfully. Always was good with the media. Everything. No nonsense. No bullshit. Dan Reeves was also another great legend. He was also a great player when he played back years ago in the NFL. I mean, this was before our time, any of our times. But he. Just the things he meant to the league, man. The things he meant to the NFL, to the New York Giants organization. I mean, you can't say enough good things about Dan Reeves either, man. Logan, if you got anything, bro.
Yeah, man. RIP to all these great people. They were all great in their respective fields, and I mean, John Madden, obviously, we all play his game. One of the greatest coaches of all time, had the greatest winning percentage in NFL history. Betty White, one of the greatest actresses of all time, and Dan Reeves, a very good coach.
Well said.
All right, gentlemen. Anybody got any final thoughts? We're going to have to get ready to wrap this one up because I do got to go to work in the morning.
My final thoughts are I'm going to go fix a filing cabinet and maybe John Marrow hire me as the head coach of the New York Giants.
But everybody, man, if y'all want to go around and tell everybody where they can find y'all at, man, we can go ahead and wrap this up.
You can catch me at Zion Zenith, and thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Next podcast is going to be on Adam's channel, so make sure you go sub him up and you can be ready for next week. Let's get it. Thank you.
Logan?
You guys can find my channel, LGZ Productions. I make Giants content. A lot of people disagree with me, but that's all fun.
And yeah, I'm Adam Costas. I have a show called The Hurry Up where I roast about topics, and baby, don't get in the crosshairs because you may be cooked. So I'm gonna let you know, you like talking sports, that's a good show to listen to. I don't just talk about the Giants right now. I'm talking about the Giants.
You too, Jeffrey.
A crap storm, but I have other content on there. I will be commenting on other things as we go out throughout the off season, so look out for that. And I'd like to thank you three gentlemen for coming on this podcast, episode 2 of Premium Takes. I really think we're moving the needle here with this podcast, letting everybody get their thoughts out. Just a different topic. You get me to rant a little bit, which I know a lot of people like out there, but you also get to listen to a lot of other people say some stuff, And hey, my last point. Before you guys go, make sure all you audience members out there to clean a filing cabinet, because you never know when you could be the next New York Giants head coach.
All right, and I want to thank everybody. This is I am Mac the Giants fan, man. You know where you can find me right here. This is my channel, and you can find me, like I said, I'm Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's all my handle, same handle, Mac the Giants fan on all of those platforms. And I want to thank everybody that came out, supported this stream tonight. Everything went well. I appreciate the work you guys all do, man. Everybody that was in the chat keeping this stream going, man. I appreciate it all. This is the most love I've ever received on a stream ever. So this is another little milestone for me personally. And I couldn't do it without the help of all you gentlemen right here, man. I really appreciate you guys, man. So we're gonna wrap this one up, man. This was the second episode of the Premium Takes podcast. And like you said, we're gonna keep them coming. Next week, you can kind of catch us on Adam's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Step up and make sure we subscribe to all these great content creators. Subscribe to the whole Big Blue Krew. You know what I mean? I've been dropping the links in the chat all night. Everybody from the crew
appreciate that, man.
Been in this chat all night. So please sub up to all these great content creators, man.
And motherfuckers, if you don't have his bell on, turn on his bell. Get notified when Mac drops a new video.
Appreciate it. We'll definitely appreciate it. But thanks again, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, man. Peace.